A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Metacom presents Arch Obler's Lights Out, Everybody. It is later than you think. This is Arch Obler bringing you another in our series of stories of the unusual. And once again we caution you, these lights out stories are definitely not for the timid soul. So we tell you calmly and very sincerely, if you frighten easily, turn off your radio now.
The Immortal Gentleman, a melodrama about something every one of us has thought of at one time or another. If I could only live forever. Our star, Mr. Francho Tone, in Arch Obler's newest radio drama, The Immortal Gentleman.
Beautiful that the hands of the sisters, Death and Night, incessantly, softly remold again and ever again the face of this soiled world.
Don't be frightened, Joan. Please, don't be. Yes, I know I screamed, but don't be afraid for me. I'm all right, really, I am. No, don't say anything. Just listen. The reason that I screamed, it made me happy.
Oh, what are you
I know it sounds confused, but I can tell you freely now for the first time since I've known you.
Tell me what?
About what happened. Tell you about myself, and then you'll understand, and then we'll both be happy. Remember, you once said you never could be happy with me.
Oh, please.
No, please, don't say anything. If you do, I want to hold you in my arms. And I've got to talk this thing out first. Talk it out from the time before I knew you until a few moments ago when I screamed and frightened you. You know, you were right. I've been a coward. But not of men or things or living. Just of not living. You don't know what I mean, do you? Must I say it? Must I say the word? All right, I will. I've been afraid of death. Yes, believe me, Joan, all my life it was that way. Even as a boy, I couldn't be happy because of him. So one thought was in me all through life. If I could only live forever, if I wouldn't die, if I could only live forever. The thought chasing itself in a never-ending circle. So there was no happiness. And the fear in me was in my face and in my work, and you knew it and everyone knew it, but they didn't know why.
No.
Tonight, the echo that is still in my ears, I cried out in fear in front of everyone. And I'm going to tell you why I cried out, and then you'll understand me, and why I say I'm free and happy for the first time in my life. And, Joan, if it's too strange to believe, just listen patiently. We were sitting in the auditorium, you and I, the politician up on the stage, talking.
In this coming election, I repeat again, the issue will be clear. An issue made clear by our glorious party. You young men and women...
Sitting there, you next to me, I wasn't listening to him on the stage. I was thinking the same infernal thoughts I thought all my life whenever I was alone. Of him. Him. And then...
Yes, to you. To every one of you here. A challenge that we must accept, face and challenge in turn.
Speaker's voice wasn't the same. I looked up. No, not the same. The other one, an old man, this one young. Couldn't quite see his face, so dark in the hall. Had something happened to the lights? I turned to her. You said, Joan, when did the lights... I stopped. You weren't there. Believe me, not there. Another woman.
Did you speak to me?
She said that. I said, where's Joan?
Joan?
Well, she was sitting right next to me. You have her chair. Where did she... I mean, the young lady who was sitting here, where did she go?
I've been here for hours.
But she was here. Here, I tell you.
Quiet, the speaker.
time is past for pleadings. The time is past for petitions. We are representative of youth, and youth is the time for action. So we must act.
The speaker, what did he matter? I sat there, couldn't figure it out. You, Joan, where had you gone? Could I have dozed off? You slipped out and this other woman taken your place? Yet, how strange you're leaving without a word. And then, wind. Wind in the auditorium. I looked up. The sky. No roof. A single star and clouds. No roof. Sleep? No, awake. I got up to go.
No, sit down. No one can leave.
But my friend...
You have sworn to stay. You must.
I sat down. Sworn to stay? What in the world... I sat down.
You know there can be no compromise. There will be no compromise. For if we compromise, we are doomed as they have always doomed us.
Speaker, what did he matter? No roof on the place. Crazy. How could a roof disappear in a moment without... I said to the girl, where's the roof? What's happened to this place? Where are we?
You know.
No? What? Well, I'd get out of the place. I'd find you, Joan. Started to go again, with the girl's hand tight on my wrist.
No, don't. You swore to stay.
Swore?
You swore. They swore. He speaks the truth.
But what?
Listen.
Good then now, good friends. Let us put an end to words. This meeting of ours was destined. For 500 years destined.
What was he saying? For 500 years destined? For what?
None of us can say we have moved quickly. For in the meditation of these 500 years has come the essence of truth. A truth that burns bright in the hearts of all of us.
What kind of a political speech was that?
And so an end to words. In this meeting we have spoken words which none dare question. Now the time has come for action which none dare deny us.
The girl leaned close and whispered.
None dare deny us.
Deny us? Deny what? Wanted to yell out just the way I did a few moments ago, but I couldn't. Something about the place, the speaker, people around me. I could only sit there, questions pounding in my head.
Youth is action. Action is youth. We will act together and make ourselves a new world. A better world. Our world.
Meeting over. Everyone getting up. The girl said...
Come with me.
Where?
You know.
I know. Crowd pressing around me. Dark, strange faces. Young, angry faces. None of my friends. My friends? Well, where were they? Joan, where were you? The auditorium in ruins. As she led me out, I saw that. It was madness. Yet a strangely intriguing madness, so I walked with her. Led me through a door. I could hear voices. She said...
Stand here a moment. I want to talk to you. Tell me, why do you act so strangely? Don't you want to go through with it?
Through with what?
There. That's what I mean. You talk as if you don't know.
I couldn't speak. Stood there.
It's a glorious morning for all of us. We've waited 500 years, some of us, for this.
500 years? What was she... I said, 500 years?
Well, perhaps not you, but I've waited 350 myself.
What did you say?
350 years, and now I can't wait another moment. The thought of another empty day suffocates me.
Am I insane or you?
Insane? I don't know the word.
Out of your head. You or I?
You are a strange one. And yet you came here. Why?
Well, to hear a speech?
So, to hear but not to act, eh? You will. You will. All of us will.
And then... the moonlight from under a cloud. And then... her face. I saw her face clearly for the first time. Hers was a loveliness beyond the word. 16, 17, she couldn't have been more. Freshness of the morning. And yet her eyes, old, bright, wise. So strange, her old eyes in that young face. I stood there, staring at her.
I tell you this, if one of us fails, we all fail, and that can't happen. Remember that. Now come. They're waiting.
Followed her. A room, quite dark. Many people in it.
Quiet, please. Quiet. There is little time to waste. We will now draw lots. Each of you take a paper as the box is passed. Most of the slips are blank. Only 24 are numbered. Whoever draws a numbered slip stays. The others go.
Slips? Draw lots? What was this? Draw lots for what? Someone came close, held out a box. The girl said...
Take a paper.
I did. She did. The others did. She said...
Look at the slip.
I did. A number, 11. She said...
Good. I, too.
held out the paper in her hand, I saw the number 12 on it.
You and I.
She and I, what?
All those without numbers, leave. All those without numbers, leave.
The push of bodies around me. And in a moment, there were only a few left. The girl at my side, motionless.
Now we can risk lights.
And in a moment, lights began to glow. I stood there, blinking, and then I saw 24 people in that room, men and women. 24, I counted them, and all of them looked alike. Yes, alike, I tell you, men and women. And their faces as the girls. 24 faces alike as copies of pictures strung along the wall. They, in turn, were staring at me.
Who is he?
A voice said.
Who is he?
Another said.
Oh, I've never seen him before. Who is he?
They came close around me.
Not one of us. Who is he? Who is he? Not one of us.
All those faces alike, staring, talking, staring, talking. The girl spoke. I knew it was she because her hand was on my arm.
Leave him alone. He is an Atavar.
Oh, an Atavar.
Atavar? What was an Atavar? I wanted to speak, but she spoke.
He'll be all right. I'll see to that.
But an Atavar is unpredictable.
But I tell you, he'll be with me. He drew 11. I drew 12. He'll be with me.
But they're undependable, you know that. Never can tell about an Atavar.
But I'll take care
Never
of
can
him.
tell.
I'll take care of him.
They stood there arguing about me, Joe. Yes, arguing about me. Whether I could, whether I would, whether I was reliable, unreliable. And always that word, Atavar. Atavar? Atavar? Mad dreams or mad adventure, whatever it was, I didn't know. Their argument stopped. Apparently, the girl had won. The leader said,
All right, Atavar. You'll be with her. Now, all of you listen. This Atavar is with us, and with us he'll stay until it's ended.
Ended? Ended? What had begun? What would end?
One question, Atavar. What is your age?
My age? You want to know my age?
Well, didn't you hear, Atavar? What is your age?
The girl said,
Tell him.
My age is 25.
What did you say?
25.
Do not joke. Tell us your age.
I told you, 25. For a moment, no one spoke. They looked at each other, shook their heads slowly, shoulders shrugged.
An Atavar. Just an Atavar.
The girl said,
Don't worry, any of you. I'll take care of him. He'll do as he's told.
Do as he's told? Do what? Told her to what? I wanted to open my mouth. Then I didn't, because the leader said,
All right. Our last word. There are 24 of you. 12 pairs. Each pair will go out together. If one fails, the other will succeed.
But when?
Now, at once. We have waited long enough for them. I alone have waited 400 years.
And I 200.
300.
I 425. 300.
I understood. Like a blow on the head, I understood. These people, mad. That was it. Talking of living hundreds of years. Out of their heads, all of them. Listening to them, I knew that.
340 years. I've waited 170 years.
And that explained the likeness of their faces. Some sort of weird interbreeding of a family resulting in feeble-mindedness. Well, how did I come among them? Went outside. The girl with me. Everyone going off in pairs. Their faces tense, angry. Going off to some strange madness. The girl said,
Wait here. I'll get what we need, then we'll keep our appointment. Wait here.
Joan, believe me, as she went off into the darkness, leaving me there alone, I swear my head was spinning as if it were on a pivot. And as it spun, the thoughts in my head spun with it.
Madness, dream, madness, dream, madness, dream, madness, dream, madness, dream, madness, dream.
What was happening to me? And then a thought. Had what I'd feared all my life happened at last? Had I died? Dead. Joan. Dead. I remember the wind suddenly was cold about it.
Dead.
But I was
Dead.
colder. Dead? Was I? And then someone was standing by me. Not the girl, but a man. Smooth, young, handsome face with those old, wise eyes looking at me. He said,
You have not started yet, Atavar.
No.
Strange, I've never seen you before. There are so few Atavars. You know, generally, they are not permitted to develop.
And looking at him, I knew I was alive. Of course. And dream? This was no dream.
Yes, there are so few Atavars.
I said, Atavar? Atavars? What the devil are Atavars?
You are a strange one.
Well, tell me, what are Atavars? Why call me an Atavar?
Well, because you are. You're not like us, you know. You are a throwback to the individualistic, unconditioned, embryonic development.
What?
But then, of course, you don't understand, do you? No, an Atavar wouldn't.
Well, tell me.
It is strange that they should have permitted you to develop and not to have explained to you the difference.
What difference? What?
Once in every 2,000 births, and that means once in every 2,000 years, we don't have many new ones in this world, you know, something happens in the incubation process, and instead of one of us perfected ones, one of you develops. A throwback to ancient times, an imperfect creature, out of the past. In other words, an atavism. Understand? An atavism.
Atavism? Atavar? Atavism? What the devil's name was this? But he kept talking. He said,
Yet, Atavar though you are, life must be miserable for you as it is for the rest of us.
Life? Miserable?
Well, of course. Why else would you have joined with us? Oh, this is going to be a glorious night for us. But not for them.
I don't understand exactly what you...
Of course not. Things would be confused for the Atavar mind, wouldn't they? That's the infernal trouble with our minds. Things are much too clear and concise and understandable. And they bred all the confusion out of us a long time ago. Well, now they'll pay for it.
Please, tell me...
Just look at me. I've lived just a handful of years, 250.
He said that, Joan. Yes, believe me, 250 years.
And yet, believe me, Atavar, I'm weary unto the death we'll never know.
Death we'll never know.
What good is there in it for any of us living forever?
Living forever.
For the first 50 years of our lives, they condition us. All right. We come out with our brains filled with all knowledge of all time. Paragons all. Geniuses all. But what good does it do us? What good? Always they are in the way.
They?
Look, Atavar, you can't be so completely a fool or they would never have let you out. They are the old ones. And what is interesting and exciting in the world, they do. They and no one else. And we who came after them, after they conditioned the world against sickness, illness, age, and death, we have nothing left to do.
I see.
They hold the key positions. They. And we stand by and grind the weary years away in nothingness. A world of youth full of the want to do, and there's nothing to do. And yet there are worlds out there where we might go, but again they stand in our way and say, no, it shouldn't be done. They, the old ones, all around us, holding us down, giving us everlasting life, and then giving us nothing to live for. But this night will change it. You and I and the rest of us 24. Well, here comes your partner, and I must go with mine. Goodbye, Atavar. Good luck.
He was gone. And then the girl at my side, under her arm a small black box.
All right, we can go now.
She took my arm. We walked along. In almost a moment, we were in a straight, broad street. Straight, shiny, glistening, bright with a light I've never seen. A quiet, empty street. Clean, bright, and strange, as if in a dream. A dream? This was no dream. And then she said...
In here.
We stepped upon a platform, part of the sidewalk. It was moving, carrying us swiftly. Swiftly down the street. An escalator? Moving sidewalk? I don't know what. Faster. Faster. Things rushing by. Strange towering buildings. And then I heard that she was talking to me.
I saw you talking to Aro. He has the easy one. We've a hard one.
250 years, he said.
Aro? Yes, that's true.
Lived 250 years?
It isn't much, I know. You must be older. Or are you? Hard to tell with an Atavar.
How old are you?
I? 400. 400 years, but not of living.
What do you mean?
You know. They, with all their years. Before we were born, they took the work of the world, and what is left for us? To wander up and down, pretty ornaments with empty lives. But they forgot one thing. They left ambition in us. And this night we'll find a place to use it.
How?
Atavar, you are a fool. You know and yet you don't know. How can we find a place for ourselves as long as they do as they please? Listen. In the very ancient world, men lived a few years and then died. And they thought that was horrible, but that was good. For when they died, there was a place for youth. Yes. One would fall in his place, and a young one took his place. Sometimes he did better than the one who had gone before, so the world progressed. But now no one falls, no one dies. And so the old ones stay and stay and stay, and we, the young ones, have no place. And when we want to make a place, the old ones say no.
The thing we were riding climbed higher. Higher? And still she talked.
We pleaded and petitioned, and they do not listen. So tonight we act. You and I, Edifar, one of 24.
That's-
By turning back the time to when men died and gave the younger ones their place.
What?
The wrong of each man died with him when he died in that old world. And so tonight we'll see that wrongs are given their belated rest.
How?
You and I, Edifar, we'll do our part. Up there.
She was pointing up. I looked up to where the building ended, in a cloud.
She sits up there. 5,000 years she's lived every day since the day science shut out death. 5,000 years, but tonight we begin to live. Here.
Into my hand, she thrust the black container. I said,
What?
You do it. You. In a moment we reach the spire. She'll come out all smiles and happiness. They can be happy, the old ones who have the work. Do it then, you must.
What?
Throw it at her and she'll be free of life and we'll be free of life without living. You'll do it, Edifar, you will. Throw it at her.
throw it. What? The thing in my hands? What did she mean, to free that person up there from life? The weight in my hands. Then suddenly I realized some kind of explosive. She expected me to throw it at that person up in the tower. Me to kill.
You will. You will.
No. No.
The word tore through my head, and with it tore away confusion. I knew. I understood. This was the world of the future, where science had doomed the death I feared. Men lived forever, and these young ones had no chance. And now they were out to kill and make their chance, and I was to kill for them, with them.
You will. You will. You will.
No.
You will.
Not
You will.
my world. Not
You will.
mine.
You
I'll
will.
go back.
You will.
I'm not saying that. I
You will. There she is, the matriarch. Throw it. Throw it.
I won't kill. Not I won't.
Give it to me. Give me that. Give me that.
No!
I jumped. Falling. I was falling. Through the horrible space of that horrible future. Down and down and down. The glistening sides of the building rushing past me. Down. Twisting. Clawing at the air. Down and down. And then I remembered, in my arms, that explosive. I tried to throw it, but my hands tight around it. I couldn't unlock them. The ground coming up. I screamed. And there I was. Sitting next to you, in the hall where I'd been before, the politician up on the stage, my friends around me, you next to me, frightened at my cry, and the roof quite intact above me. So here it ends, Joan. Sitting there, I stepped ahead in time until a day when men had conquered death. And so somehow I'm not afraid of him, the one at my shoulder anymore, because I think it's good that men should live, then die, and so end the evil in them and give their place to others. Tell me, Joan, do you agree?
Beautiful that the hands of the sisters, Death and Night, incessantly, softly remold again and ever again the face of this soiled world.
Archie Andrews and all his gang. family visit to Riverdale. It's early evening as we look in on the Andrews home, and we find Mrs. Andrews sitting in the living room sewing.
When day is done and shadows fall, I see.
Mom!
Here I am, dear.
Oh, hiya, Mom.
Hello, dear.
There's something I want to ask you, Mom.
Archie.
It's very important, very important, so please say yes.
Archie.
Huh?
Archie Andrews, how many times have I asked you not to slam the door when you come into the house and not to shout at the top of your lungs?
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Mom, but I got to ask you something.
All right. Now, just what is it that's so important?
Well, I just want to ask you... Gee whiz, Mom, where's Dad?
Well, he isn't home yet, dear. He phoned to say he was detained at the office, but he'll be home any minute.
Oh, well, what I was going to ask, Mom, is can we have a party here tonight?
Of course you can. What?
A party, a Halloween party.
Tonight?
Uh-huh. We were all set to have one at Veronica's house, but when Mr. Lodge heard about it tonight, he said nothing doing.
Oh.
And if I can have the party here, it would really make a good impression on Veronica.
But, Archie, I don't know what to say on such short
Well,
notice.
you don't have to prepare anything, Mom. The girls have all the candy and the cake and stuff at Veronica's now, and if you say yes, they'll bring everything right over here, and we'll clean up afterwards and be very careful, please, Mom?
Well, if you put it that way, Archie, I don't see how I could say no.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. I knew you'd say yes. Thanks a million, Mom. Thanks. Oh, you're such a...
Archie, all right. You're quite welcome, dear. But if you're having company tonight, I'd better go change my dress. I'm sure you want your mother looking presentable.
Oh, sure, Mom. And as soon as I call the kids and tell them everything's okay, I'll get dressed, too. Boy, oh, boy, we can have the Halloween party here.
Mary, I'm home. Mary. That's funny. I wonder where she is. Oh, well, must be around the house someplace. Oh, boy, it sure feels good to be home. What a day. What a day. Oh, I don't know when this armchair looked so comfortable or felt so comfortable. Oh, it's great to be home. Yes, sir. I'll just take my tie off. Open my collar. Oh, yeah, that's better. Now I'll get these shoes off. There. Oh, now to sit back and relax. Yes, sir, it certainly feels good to be... Jughead!
What'd you expect, Elsa Maxwell?
No, Jughead, I did not expect Elsa Maxwell. And since when do you come barging in here without ringing the bell?
Oh, Archie just told me to. We got a lot of things to do.
Got a lot of things. What kind of things?
Oh, no time to explain that, Andrew. Hey, Archie! I'm here!
He's here. Oh, what the dickens is all this about anyway?
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Betty.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I just dropped in to see how... Well, what am I doing? Betty, dear, if you don't mind, I live here.
Oh. Well, I better take these packages out into the kitchen.
Yeah, but Betty, wait, what are those packages?
Can't explain now, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, great. First, Jughead comes marching in here without ringing the bell. Then Betty...
Oh,
hi.
Oh, you're Mr. Andrews.
Yes, I'm Mr. Andrews, but who are you?
I'm Agatha Gush. And this is Prunella Jenkins, and Sis Henderson, and Bootsy Mitchell.
I'm glad to know you, girls.
Oh, Gerald, isn't he cute?
Look, Agatha,
He'd be positively adorable if he only had hair.
What do you mean, if only I had hair? Yeah, but wait a minute. What the devil's going on around here? Oh, great. Now, how do you like that? I spend a hard day at the office. I come home exhausted, and all of a sudden, my house is turned into Grand Central Station.
Come on, you better get things arranged. Gee whiz, Dad, what are you doing here?
Why does everybody keep asking me that?
Golly, Dad, I only meant I didn't know you were home.
Archie, look, I am home, and I'm beginning to wish I wasn't. Now, but not asking too much, would you mind telling me what's going on around here?
Well, sure, Dad. We're having a Halloween party.
Oh, all right. For a minute, Yeah, Halloween party.
Uh-huh, we're going to dance.
And play kissing games.
And sing songs.
And play kissing games.
And listen to records.
And play kissing games.
All right, Jughead. How many girls do you think you could kiss in one night? Oh, great. Oh, brother, that's all.
I
Archie, look,
What are you doing here?
That's all! Look, Mary, it so happens I live here. I pay the bills around here. I own the house here. That's what I'm doing here.
Ted, don't be silly. I mean, what are you doing standing here in your stocking feet? Don't you know the children are having a Halloween party?
Mary, I have news for you. The children are not having a Halloween party.
Huh? Gee whiz. Ted, what do you mean?
Just what I said. I am tired. I have a slight headache. Nobody consulted me about this. And what's more, they could just go have their old party at somebody else's house.
Oh, but Fred,
no
you
fuss
can't do that,
about it,
Mary.
Mary. I haven't the slightest intention of spending the rest of the night out in the kitchen so a bunch of young jitterbugs can wreck the living room. This is definite and final. No party.
Oh, but Fred.
Mark was an old sourpuss not to let us have the party there.
The Andrews are awfully nice to let us have the party here.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Did we interrupt something?
Not a thing, Betty, not a thing. I was just telling Archie I hoped his Halloween party would be a big success.
Huh?
Well, Mary, don't just stand there. Let's go out in the kitchen. Come on. Well, Chuck, I guess everything's just about all set, and the rest of the kids should be here any minute.
Yeah.
And I want you to help me.
Yeah. Help you? Help you what?
Help me be host. Help me see that everyone has a nice time.
Who's going to see that I have a nice time?
Judge, you'll have a nice time being assistant host.
Well, I want to talk to Agatha. She's supposed to be my date. After all, I even gave her a massage.
Yes, I mean, massage. Jughead, you mean a corsage.
A what?
A corsage.
Oh, she doesn't wear one of those. She's too thin.
Jughead, not a corset, a corsage. Flowers. You gave Agatha some flowers.
Yeah. And that mistletoe isn't cheap either.
Yes, mistletoe. Jughead, you gave Agatha a corsage of mistletoe?
Sure. I'm no fool.
Oh, fine. Listen, Jug. Agatha will just have to wait till everyone gets here and we...
Hello, Archie.
Oh, fine.
Hi, you're Archie Cannon. It's awful nice to see you all, Archie.
Hello, Veronica. Gee, I see somebody gave you a massage, too.
What? He means a corsage. And, Jug, I sent that to Veronica, so be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gee, Veronica, you sure look pretty tonight.
Oh,
Well, hello, everyone. I'm here. Oh, fine. Reggie Mantle.
Hi, you're Reggie.
Well, if I believe what everyone tells me, I'm just wonderful. Oh, great. Reggie, are you seriously in love with yourself, or is it just a passing fancy?
Now, Archie, remember, you're the host. Oh, Reggie, isn't that a new suit you're wearing?
Yes, Veronica. Do you like it?
Oh, yes, Reggie, it's lovely.
Oh, you just say that because I'm wearing it. Oh, fine. Reggie, look, I'm glad to see you at our party. Come in and make yourself at home. All right, Archie, don't mind if I do. Fine. And now, Veronica...
I say, Veronica, you're looking lovelier than ever.
Huh?
Oh, do you really think so, Reggie?
Veronica, of course I do, my dear. In fact, I'd say you're prettier than all the other girls who run after me.
Oh, Reggie, how sweet.
Veronica, let's go sit down in the living room, Veronica, where we can have a nice long talk.
Oh, but Reggie, I'd love to.
But, Veronica, wait, I want to talk to you. Now, how do you like that, Jug? I'm talking to Veronica, and that self-centered baboon comes in here and steals my girl right from under my nose.
Now, Archie, remember, a host is friendly, and a host is polite, and a host is cheerful.
Yes, Jughead, and I'm beginning to think a host is also a darn fool.
So, Mary...
Yes, dear.
Mary, you know, I never realized before how uncomfortable these kitchen chairs are. How late do you think those kids are liable to stay?
Oh, I've no idea. But, Fred, if you're getting restless, let's go to a movie.
Oh, Mary, I'm too tired to go to a movie.
Then go upstairs and go to sleep.
But who can sleep with the noise those kids are making? Besides, maybe we should be out there.
Out there?
Uh-huh. You know, after all, as Archie's parents, isn't it sort of our duty to make the kids feel at home and see that they have a good time?
Well, I suppose we should. But then again, youngsters don't like to have old folks around at their parties. It makes them feel awkward and self-conscious.
Mary, don't be silly. Nobody's going to be awkward because I'm there. As a matter of fact, those kids are probably having a terribly dull time right now. Well, I'll go out there and show them how to pep up the party. Come on.
Well, all right, dear, if you think we should.
Of course we should. You'll see, Fred Andrews is always the life of the party. We'll show them how to enjoy a party.
Yes, dear. But they seem to be having a nice time right now.
Well, yes, in a way, but... there's Betty. Hello there, Betty.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Dent.
Well,
Dent.
how's it going?
You want some more fun?
But, Betty, I wanted...
Fred, she's gone.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? Oh, there's Veronica. Hello, Veronica.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Dent.
Hello, Veronica. How's things going? Well, she seems to be pretty busy, too. Here's that Agatha girl. Oh, hello, Agatha.
Oh, Mr. Andrews. Isn't he cute? You're cute, baby.
Cute? Fred, what does she mean, cute?
Mary, I have no idea what she means by cute. But every time she sees me, she just goes into hysterics.
Agatha always giggles. But Fred, I thought we were going to join the party. We can't just stand here all evening.
Yeah, well, you're right. We can't just stand here, but neither can we join the party.
What?
Oh, Mary, I'm afraid there's only one place for old fogies like us. Back to the kitchen. Come on.
Judge, have you seen Veronica? Oh, never mind. There she is. Veronica?
Hello, Archie. Oh, my goodness, this is a wonderful party.
Gee, I'm glad you like it. But listen, Veronica, I haven't seen you all evening. I want to talk to you.
Well, Archie, of course you can talk to me. What did you want to say?
Well, it's awful noisy in here, Veronica. Let's go out on the porch.
All right, Archie. I could use a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, me too. Oh, just look at that harvest moon.
Yes. Oh, it's lovely, Archie. Simply lovely.
Yeah. Sit down, Veronica, and we can watch the moon for a while.
All right. But it's a little chilly out here, isn't it?
Oh, don't worry about that, Veronica. I'll put my arm around you. There. That'll keep you warm.
Oh, Archie. How sweet.
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. But, Veronica.
Yes, Archie?
Now that we're alone, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, Archie?
Well, would you mind if... Well, that is, may I... What I mean to say is, could I... Would you...
What are you laughing out here for, Agatha?
Oh, fine. Jugging Agatha.
My goodness.
You'll find out.
Quick, Veronica, come on over here so they won't see us. Oh, if that Agatha sees us, she'll stop talking and they'll never go back inside.
All right, Archie, but I hope they don't stay out here too long. I'm getting chilled.
Oh, they won't quite. Here they come.
Gee whiz, it's cold out here, Agatha. Oh, it is not, Jughead. It's refreshing. Now, let's sit down for a while.
Okay. But I sure wish I knew why you wanted to sit out here with all that cake and candy back in the house.
Jughead, don't you really know?
No?
Well, I'll show you. Put your arms around me. Go ahead.
Like this?
Uh-huh. Hold me tighter.
Okay.
Tighter.
Okay.
Tighter.
Okay.
Not so tight. Oh.
Gee, I'm sorry. Guess I don't know my own strength.
Oh, I guess not. Now, turn your face to mine.
Okay.
Now, look me in the eye.
Which one?
Either one. Now, hold me close.
Okay.
Now, what do you say?
I know.
What?
Want some bubble gum?
Oh, for goodness sake. Jughead, you're as romantic as a dish of popcorn. And personally, I'll take the popcorn.
Veronica, what did I say? Well, they're gone.
Yes, I thought they'd never go in.
Me too. Now, Veronica, where were we?
Well, you were about to ask me something.
Oh, yeah. Well, Veronica, as I was about to say, would you mind if...
Are you out there?
No, fine. Yes, Betty, I'm out here.
Oh, hello, Veronica. Hi. Archie, the kids want to roll back the rugs and move the furniture so we can dance.
Well, you'll have to wait a while, Betty. I'm trying to talk to Veronica.
But, Archie, it's not polite to keep your guests waiting.
But, Betty, I want to...
The party will get dull if we don't start dancing. And you should keep it going. You're the host.
Okay, so I'm the host. But, Betty, the next time I throw a party, remind me not to.
Mary, I think those youngsters were absolutely rude to ignore us the way they did.
Oh, Fred, they were just having a party. You didn't expect them to stop everything just to talk to us, did you?
Well, when I was a boy, we showed respect for our parents, party or no party.
Well, times have changed, dear. So just read your newspaper until the youngsters get tired and go home.
All right, dear, all right. At least it's quiet out here anyway. Let's see, oh, fine.
Water out here, Reggie.
Well, I'm really thirsty.
Oh, hello, Reggie.
Oh, hi, Miss Andrews. Jug, get some ice cubes. I like my water cold.
Okay.
Wow! Look what we have here in the icebox. Cold chicken.
Oh, boy, that looks good. Hey, did you hear that?
Yes, dear, I heard.
Oh, pretty good.
Hey, my chicken, that's for lunch tomorrow.
Mary, don't say
Look
anything,
here.
dear. Just...
Fresh apple pie.
Oh, boy, that looks good.
Oh, Papa, save this for dinner tomorrow night.
They're
reading the icebox.
No, Mary,
Oh, Fred, stop them.
Well, Mary, there are these two.
They'll take every last bit of food. Fred, what do we do?
Mary, there's only one thing for us to do. Go down to the playroom in the basement. Come on.
And now back to Archie's Halloween party. When Veronica couldn't have the party at her house, Archie talked Mrs. Andrews into letting him use the Andrews house, namely to make a good impression on Veronica. But so far, he's been so busy being host, he hasn't had a chance to see much of Veronica. And meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews are trying to find a quiet place to stay until the party's over.
Okay, Betty, okay. Now the piano's out of the way, the couch is pushed back, the rug's rolled up, and everything's all set for dancing.
Oh, thank you, Archie. That's fine.
Good.
Come on, everybody. I'm going to play the piano, and everybody dance.
Now that that's settled, maybe I can get a dance with Veronica for all my troubles.
Archie, this dance is mine.
Yes, Agatha, yours. Oh, but Agatha, I want...
just love dancing with you, Archie.
Yes, Agatha, but I want to see if I...
Oh, there's the music. Come on, let's dance.
All right, Agatha. Let's dance.
Oh, golly, Archie. Isn't this the most wonderful party?
Oh, sure, Agatha, sure. But you know something?
What?
If I didn't live here, I'd go home.
Fred, the way those children just raided that icebox without asking anyone's permission was absolutely rude.
Oh, now, Mary, you just forget it. That's how youngsters are, you know. And there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Now, just be thankful it's quiet down here in the basement. We can sit here peacefully until those kids go home.
Oh, yes, dear, you're right. But they can't leave any too soon for me.
Yes, dear. Now, let's see. What was I reading in this newspaper? Oh, yes. Mary, what's that?
I don't know.
Sounds like an earthquake or the house is falling down.
Fred, I know what it is.
What?
We're directly under the living room. The children must be dancing.
Oh, all right. For a minute, I was afraid. Dancing? What kind of dancing is that makes that much noise?
Fred, you know how the youngsters jitterbug, jump up and down, and throw each other around.
Yes, but do they have to do that to my house? The whole house is shaking.
Fred, the youngsters are entitled to dance if they want. But you can't stop them from doing that.
But they
just
can't.
make the best of it and read your paper.
Oh, me. All right, dear, all right. First we went out into the kitchen, then we came down to the cellar. You think there'd be one place we could go in our own house where we could just... Ye gosh, Mary, what was that?
Oh, dear. A big piece of the ceiling came down.
Ceiling? Mary, come on.
Fred, where can we go now?
There's just one place, Mary, one place. To the living room to put an end to this nonsense. Come on.
Yes, Agatha, it was fine. Now, if you don't mind, I want to ask Veronica for the next dance.
Veronica? But don't you want to dance with me anymore?
Well, yes, Agatha, but I feel that as the host, I should ask Veronica. And here she is now. Veronica?
Yes, Archie?
Can I have the next dance?
Oh, Archie, I just promised it to Reggie.
Reggie? Listen, Veronica, how come all night long you're talking to Reggie, dancing with Reggie, laughing with Reggie?
Well, Archie, you knew Reggie was my date for tonight, didn't you?
Well, sure, Reggie is your date for tonight. You mean I threw this party and you brought...
Anything wrong with my being her date?
I'll say there is. I can't...
Somebody else play the piano now. I want to dance.
Betty, please, just a minute. Veronica, did you...
Jughead, please. Can I see you for a minute, please?
Well, just 1 minute, Dad. I want to get something straight here. Veronica, you mean you brought Reggie Mantle as your date to my party?
Archie, you never asked me to be your date.
Veronica, you
I'm going to dance this next
Betty, let's not...
I'll play the piano.
Agatha, please. Jughead.
Don't make us see it.
Mary, I'm not making you please. I'm trying to talk about
Agatha, please stop playing the piano. Mary, Agatha, Archie. Quiet. Agatha, you be quiet too. Now listen to me, all of you. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, dear. Yes, Dad.
Now, I certainly am the last one to object to youngsters having a Halloween party. But this is going too far. Much too far. You kids come in here like you own the place. You raid the icebox without asking. Shove all the furniture around. Scratch up a perfectly good floor. Break the ceiling in the basement with your jumping and stamping. And who knows what else you've done.
I know.
Chug, be quiet. Now, I hate to be so harsh, but I'm afraid you young jitterbugs have to be taught some manners. And if you have anything to say for yourselves, I want to hear it.
Well, yes, Dad, we do have something to say. But would you excuse me for just a minute? There's something I want to ask the other kids.
You certainly may.
Hey, fellas, come here. I'll look my dad to some of the ceiling down.
Yeah,
okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, fellas, thanks. Dad.
Well, Archie, go on. Go on.
Well, first, all the fellas want me to apologize for their getting a little wild.
I should think they would. The apology is accepted.
And we hope that this money will make up for the damage we did.
Well, I should hope it. Money? What money?
This money here, Dad. We all just chipped in to pay for the scratched floor and the broken ceiling. Well, I know it isn't very much money, but it's all we had. About $3, I think, in a little change.
Archie.
Yes, Dad?
You mean to say that your friends chipped in that money to pay for the damage you did?
Well, yes, Dad.
Well, Archie, there's only one thing I can say.
Yes, Dad?
If that's the kind of friends you have, I'd be a pretty mean old sourpuss to take that money or to stop the party. Happy Halloween, kids. Come on, Mary, let's dance.
Now back to the Andrews. It's many hours later and the big Halloween party's all over and everybody, including Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, had a fine time.
Oh, gee, Dad, that was a swell party, wasn't it?
Yes, son, it certainly was.
Yes, you seem to be enjoying yourself, I noticed.
Yeah, meaning what?
Meaning, where did you learn to jitterbug like that?
Oh, Agatha taught me. And you know something? Agatha's cute.
Fred Andrews, you should be
Listen next Saturday when we bring you more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Bob Sherry wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. So long.
Mother, are Post 40% bran flakes really the best tasting cereal of them all?
Well, your father says so, and Father knows best.
Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as Father. A half-hour visit with your neighbors, the Andersons. Brought to you by Instant Sanka, the delicious coffee that lets you sleep, and Post 40% Bran Flakes. Mother, next time you're choosing a cereal, remember, new Post 40% Bran Flakes give your family all the important keep regular benefits of bran in a cereal with a delicious new Magic Oven flavor. Insist on Post Bran Flakes, the cereal preferred and eaten by far more people than any other Bran Flakes. This weekend, get Post 40% Bran Flakes in the new family size 15-ounce package. They're good, and so good for you. When brown October rolls around, the air is crisp and clear, and hearts of men are happy in the twilight of the year. In Springfield, in the white frame house on Maple Street, the Andersons are at breakfast. It's a beautiful day, bright and brisk, and, well, it starts out as a beautiful day anyway, like this. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Hi, Daddy.
What a day. What a beautiful, wonderful day.
Mother. Just a moment, Betty. Here's your cereal, dear.
Thank you. Margaret, look at that sun. Look at that sky. Smell those golden leaves burning in the sunlight. Have you ever in your whole life seen a more beautiful day?
No, dear. Drink your milk, Kathy.
Take a breath of that air. Clear, cold, clean as a whistle. They can talk all they like about spring. This is the time of year that puts zip into a man. Pass the cream and sugar, Betty, please.
But if you don't hurry, you're going to be late.
Okay, Mom.
I tell you, it's weather like this that made America the greatest country in the world, that keeps America on its toes. It's weather like this that stirs up your blood, makes you want to get out and do things, climb a few mountains, jump over a few trees. Makes you glad just to be alive.
Mother, now?
All right, dear. Go ahead.
Father, I need $5.
Margaret, why is it that every time I come to the breakfast table, somebody suddenly discovers that he's short $5? Doesn't anybody in this family ever have enough money?
But, Father...
Betty, let your father finish. Go ahead, dear.
When I was a boy, I had to stick to my allowance. If I needed an extra quarter, I had to go out and work for it. I couldn't just wait until my father was in a good mood and then announce that I needed $5. Money didn't grow on trees when I was a boy, and it doesn't grow on trees now. I give each of you an allowance, a very generous allowance, I might say.
Ha! Kathy, be quiet.
And unless there's an emergency of an unusual and unforeseen nature, I expect every member of this family to get along on the funds allotted to him. Now, is that understood? All right.
Mother?
All right, dear.
Father, I simply have to have $5.
Betty, I just finished telling you... Why do you need $5?
For a wig.
A wig? What's the matter, getting a little thin on top?
Father.
It's for her costume, Jim. She's going as Marie Antoinette.
She's going where as Marie Antoinette?
To Janie Liggett's. Janie's having a costume party tonight.
Doesn't Janie Liggett ever do anything but give parties? What's the matter with that girl?
Dear, it's Halloween, and she just
Janie Liggett can find more excuses for a party than Elsa Maxwell's press agent. And why this sudden affection for Marie Antoinette? Why doesn't she go as Daniel Boone? I got an old coonskin hat she can have for nothing.
I'm going to be a devil.
No, that's more like it, you see. Kathy don't even need a costume.
Mommy.
Kathy, darling, your father was only joking.
He hurt my feelings.
Say, Dad.
Since when is Janie Liggett inviting Kathy to her parties? That's something new, isn't it?
Dad.
Kathy isn't going to Janie's party, Father. It's a costume ball for grown-ups, not infants. Mommy.
Oh, Betty, I wish you wouldn't say things like that. All right, Kathy, stop making faces and drink your milk.
Well, she hurt my feelings, too.
Say, Dad.
Kathy just said she was going to be a devil. Is somebody else giving a party?
No, dear. Kathy and her little friends are going to play trick-or-treat.
We're going to ring doorbells and get candy.
I don't think that's a good idea at all. Bunch of hoodlums going around threatening people into giving them ammunition for a stomachache. Kathy, you're not going to ring any doorbells, and that's final.
Gee whiz.
Say, Dad.
Bud, will you please stop interrupting? Talk, and you never say anything.
Gosh, nobody gives me a chance.
All right, what is it?
Well, I have to leave for school right away, and I'm going out with the fellas tonight, so could I please have $1?
No. Now stop interrupting and let me finish what I was saying.
But, Dad...
For the last time, Bud, no. You get your allowance on Saturday, and it's got to take care of you for the week. You've got to learn to make your money last.
But, Dad...
Jim, This is Saturday.
That makes absolutely no difference. If Bud thinks... That is, isn't it?
Gosh, Dad, all I want is my allowance.
Well, why didn't you say so? Here, don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Bud, are you going to a party tonight?
No, not exactly. Joe Phillips bought a Zoom buggy, and we all thought we'd just sort of cruise around for a while.
Well, I've got a better idea. We'll celebrate Halloween in a safe and sane manner by going to the movies.
Aw, gee.
Gee whiz, Dad.
Jim, I don't want to make an issue
Margaret,
of it.
I will not have the children running around the streets after dark. You know I don't approve of it.
I know, dear. But last night the paper said there was an epidemic of measles in Springfield, and I just wondered
All right,
if...
then we'll stay home. I have no objections.
Holy cow. Everybody else can go out on Halloween.
I hope I get the measles. That's what I hope. I hope everybody gets the measles.
Oh, Kathy, you don't mean that. Your father is only doing what he feels is best.
You don't have to apologize for me, Margaret. I'm not going to have my children acting like a bunch of juvenile delinquents.
Father, you still haven't told me. May I have $5?
When I was a boy, we had fun on Halloween. We weren't a menace to the community. We did all sorts of things like...
Taking the gates off fences.
Taking the gates off fences.
Letting the air out of people's tires.
Letting the air out of people... We did no such thing.
Well, you were certainly blamed for it.
I was framed, and you know it. I wasn't anywhere near the... I was... No. Halloween was a festive occasion for the entire family. We spent the evening together, bobbing for apples, drinking apple cider, biting an apple on a string.
You're sure lucky somebody invented apples.
Very funny. Big joke.
Father, if you'd only tell
Betty,
me...
the phone's ringing.
Oh, all right. Mother, tell him how important it is.
Jim, Betty really has her heart set on it.
I'll let her have the money. You know that. Why does she have to figure out such elaborate costumes? $5 for a wig. Say, Margaret, I haven't had any breakfast yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. How would you like some nice poached eggs this morning?
Oh, I don't care. Anything at all.
It won't take a minute.
Now, look, Bud and Kathy. There's no need to act as though the world had caved in. We'll have a lot of fun all by ourselves.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Well, we used to have fun together all the time. Don't you remember? We'll play games, listen to the radio.
Some fun.
Well, of course, if you'd rather go to bed right after dinner. Who is it, Betty?
Jamie Liggett. And I don't need the $5.
What is it, dear? Is anything wrong?
Oh, no, everything's fine. Janie's sister has the measles, and the whole thing is called off.
Oh, that's too bad, Betty. But I'm sure someone else will have a party that you can go to.
Oh, that Janie's sister. With 365 days to get the measles, she has to pick Halloween.
Margaret, how would you like to give a Halloween party?
Oh, Jim, there isn't time. Well, Halloween is tonight.
Oh, I don't mean a big party. I mean just a small, old-fashioned Halloween party, the kind we used to have years ago.
Oh, I don't know, dear. We haven't made any preparations. There isn't a thing in the house.
Well, you've got all day, and anyway, what do you need? A couple of dozen donuts, a gallon of apple cider, and you're all set. What do you say, Betty?
Oh, I suppose so.
That's what I like, spirit, enthusiasm. How about you, Kathy?
You mean just us?
Well, no. Suppose we invite some friends. Each of you may have 2 guests.
Hey, that'll be all right. How about that, Betty?
I worked for 3 weeks on that costume, and now I'll wind up in my own cellar.
It's not a cellar, Betty. It's a playroom.
Well, it's a cellar to me.
Yes, sir. We'll have lots of fun. Good old-fashioned fun and good old-fashioned refreshments. Donuts and cider, popcorn and candy, apples and nuts, chestnuts, walnuts, peanuts. How about it, Betty?
Can I invite Ralph? And Billy Smith?
Sure. Invite anybody you want. How about asking Janie Liggett?
She can't go anywhere. The whole house is quarantined.
Quarantined for the measles?
I told you last night, Jim, the epidemic is really becoming serious.
Oh, well, we won't worry about it now. Let's finish our breakfast. And tonight, say, we could even have a square dance.
Father, could we really?
Well, I should say. Didn't you know I was the best square dance caller in Springfield? Oh, swing that gal from Arkansas. She ain't been swung since way last fall. Then cross the hall and swing Grandma, and all turn around and swing Sally Gooden. Margaret!
I'm in the dining room, Jim.
Margaret, I met Hector Smith on the way home, and Holy jumping Jehoshaphat. What's that?
What's what, dear?
All that stuff on the table. What did they do, move the market up here?
Jim, after all, if you're going to have people in for a party.
Well, that's a relief. I thought maybe you'd ask them to stay for the winter. 6, 8... Holy smoke, 10 dozen donuts?
12, dear. The children took 2 boxes downstairs.
Margaret, why? 144 donuts?
Well, Jim, you have to feed 22 growing children.
22? I told them to invite 6. How did it become 22?
Oh, like Topsy, I guess. It just grew.
6 gallons of cider, 5 pounds of popping corn, 12 quarts of milk, 4 cases of soda pop, 6... Margaret, where are they?
The children? Oh, they're down in the playroom, fixing the decorations.
Decorations? What decorations? I asked them to get 6 kids to duck for apples. Who said anything about decorations?
Well, the playroom did look a little bare, and they just thought
it was supposed to be a simple little party, just a few kids. That's what I told Hector. And now look.
Jim, you didn't invite the Smiths.
Well, sure, but I didn't know it was going to be anything like this. And Hector just had his teeth pulled, and he looked kind of lonesome.
Jim, you know that Elizabeth doesn't fit into a thing like this. She'll spend half the night bragging about her Mayflower Stuyvesant ancestors. She'll make us feel as if she's slumming.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be anything like this. I told them they could ask 2 guests apiece. That's all I said.
Well, Betty couldn't ask Marion Swift without asking Grace Russell, and they both had dates.
Margaret, I want you to be perfectly honest and truthful. If we had spent a quiet evening at the movies, wouldn't it have been worth a simple case of measles?
Hi there. This is Jerry Marshall. Say, wouldn't a steaming cup of coffee hit the spot right about now? You bet it would. And you know you can have that cup of coffee. Yes, even if coffee usually keeps you awake, you can have your coffee and still sleep tonight if you make it a cup of instant Sanka coffee. You see, it's not the coffee itself that keeps you awake. It's the caffeine in coffee. But 97% of the caffeine has been taken out of instant Sanka. So you can enjoy a cup now or an hour from now and not lose 1 week of restful sleep. And instant Sanka is all pure coffee, you know. 100% pure coffee with a wonderfully rich and satisfying flavor. So if you don't have instant Sanka coffee on hand, add it to tomorrow's shopping list. Get the large economy-size jar and save money. You'll like instant Sanka's flavor, and you'll love the way it lets you sleep.
It's a gay evening in the white frame house on Maple Street. In the basement playroom, the children are raising a veritable tidal wave as they duck for apples. The teenagers are dancing to their young hearts' content. And upstairs in the kitchen, the adults, well, they're not doing so well.
Elizabeth, I give you my word of honor. I didn't mean to do it.
Hector Smith, don't you dare to speak to me again. Not as long as you live.
Jim.
Oh, come on, Elizabeth. It isn't that bad.
I've never been so mortified in my entire life. Not in my entire life.
Elizabeth, this is cold. Let me put it on. It'll make you feel so much better.
Oh.
You got a piece of beefsteak, Margaret? That's good for a black eye, too.
Oh. How will I face my friends? What can I tell them?
Why don't you just tell them the truth? You were biting an apple on a string, and you zigged when you should have zagged.
Really, Jim, the humor of the situation escapes me completely.
Sure, you can't see your shiner. Oh, Elizabeth, it's a fib.
To think that I, a Stuyvesant on my mother's side, should come to this.
Elizabeth, if you'll just let me...
You keep away from me, you monster.
But I thought you wanted me to let go of the apple.
You planned the whole thing, Hector Smith. You planned the whole fiendish thing.
Mother! Elizabeth, please put this against your eye. It'll help, really. Yes, Betty?
There isn't any more cider.
Well, send Bud up. We have another gallon up here.
Okay.
I told Hector in the first place I didn't want to come. A children's party, imagine. Me, Elizabeth Smith, at a children's party.
Well, you were having a pretty good time before it happened, Liz.
Jim, will you please not call me Liz? You know how I loathe that name.
Jim.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Where's the cider, Mom? Betty said you had some more.
It's right here next to the table, dear.
Okay. How's your eye, Mrs. Smith?
Oh, it's not well, Bud. It's not well at all.
Why, that sure was funny. You should have seen the look on your face.
Bud.
All right, Bud. Take the cider and beat it.
Some party, huh, Dad? Yeah, boy. What a brawl.
Leave it to my son. He always manages to say just the right thing at just the wrong time.
Mommy!
Just a minute, Kathy. Dear, see what Kathy wants, will you please?
Oh, probably another donut if I know Kathy. Don't go away, Heck. I'll be right back.
Okay, Jim. Elizabeth, maybe if I went out and bought a piece of steak or something.
Don't you come near me. Don't you even touch me.
What's the matter, Kathy? Did they run out of donuts downstairs?
Daddy, is it all right if I go to bed? I'm awful tired.
Well, I guess so, dear. Aren't you having a good time?
I don't know. I feel sleepy. And I hurt all over.
Well, Kathy, why don't you... Margaret?
Yes, Jim?
Could I see you for a minute, please? Why don't you lie down on the couch, Kathy? Mommy will be here in just a second.
All right, Daddy.
Jim, you know how upset Elizabeth is. Did you have to... Why, Kathy, what is it?
I'm sleepy, Mommy. I want to go to bed.
She said she didn't feel well. She hurts all over.
Jim, call Dr. Simmons.
Oh, Margaret, there's no reason to get all excited.
Jim, will you please call Dr. Simmons?
All right, all right.
You're going to be all right, darling. Mommy and Daddy won't let anything happen to their little girl. Jim, please hurry.
Well, I have to find his number, don't I? Oh, here it is. 3890. 3890. HU 3890.
Tell him she has a slight fever.
All right. She has? Oh, hello, Dr. Simmons. This is Jim Anderson. Oh, fine, thank you. Doctor, it's... yes, she's fine, too, thank you. Doctor, well, they're fine. Except Kathy. She doesn't feel very well. Yeah, she says she's very tired. Uh-huh.
Jim, tell him about the fever.
Margaret says she has a fever. Oh, it does? I see. Not for an hour, huh? You couldn't possibly make it any sooner than that. All right, Doctor. We'll put her to bed right away. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. In the meantime, I'll send all the kids home. Your what? Your what? Oh, no, Doctor. Dr. Simmons, you can't do a thing like that. It isn't human. Dr. Simmons. Dr. Simmons. Dr. Simmons.
Jim, is it measles?
That's what he thinks. And Margaret, we'll all be quarantined for a week.
Now, Margaret, you just leave everything the way it is and go up to Kathy. Go on now. Shoo.
Elizabeth,
I said shoo. I've got two perfectly healthy men here to help me, and we've got a lot of things to figure out.
Go ahead, dear. Kathy will feel better if you're with her.
But, Jim, there are so many things to do, and all these children...
Oh, we'll figure it out, honey. You go on up to Kathy.
Margaret, you know you're not doing anybody any good down here.
No, I guess I'm not. I'll go upstairs, but please call me if you need any help.
All right, dear. We will.
Now,
Jim, I didn't want to say anything while Margaret was here, but what are we going to do with those kids?
I know what I'd like to do with them.
Yeah. You know, sometimes they got laws against the most sensible things.
If you two great brains are through with your little jokes, we'll get down to work.
Elizabeth, you know, this is the first time I've ever seen you this way. I mean, with your sleeves rolled up and your hair let down. It looks good.
Oh, thanks.
She'd look even better without that shiner.
You and I will go into that later, dear. Meantime, let's see now. 22 children and 4 adults. That means sleeping space for 26. How many beds do you have?
5, without Kathy's.
Be a little crowded, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's always a couch.
Well, we have 4 beds, including the one in the guest room, so that makes 9.
Wait a minute. You're not going to all the trouble of bringing 4 beds over here, are you?
Well, gosh, Jim, they certainly won't do anybody any good in our house.
We can't expect those children to sleep on the floor. Not for an entire week. It'd be criminal.
But all that trouble and inconvenience?
Jim, they have a wonderful new invention called the telephone. Hector is going to use it in the morning and call the moving company. Right, Hector?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Tell them where to pick up a key and have them bring all the beds over here.
Right.
Then tell them to empty the linen closet. We're going to need every bit of linen in the house before we're finished.
Right.
Sheets and pillowcases and towels and everything. Do you have that?
Right.
That's the doorbell.
Right. Go ahead, Jim. It's probably the doctor.
Oh, yeah. Look, Heck, don't do anything until I get back.
Don't worry about us, Jim. We got everything under control.
I don't know. You learn the strangest things about the strangest people at the strangest times. Oh, hello, Dr. Simmons.
Oh, Jim, Kathy upstairs?
Yes, Doctor, I'm sure it's nothing serious, but if you think there's anything...
You stay here.
But, Doctor, don't you think
Enough trouble with mothers. Can't stand fathers.
Well, the least he could do is let me... After all, she is my daughter, and I've got as much right to be there.
Hey, what did Doc say, Jim? Anything more than measles?
He wouldn't even let me go upstairs. Fine doctor he turned out to be.
Jim, I think we've got everything arranged. We'll have to sleep in shifts, but at least everyone will get a good 8 hours rest in a comfortable bed.
No, that's fine, Elizabeth, fine.
We're going to put all of our beds and linen in the playroom so we don't get things mixed up. And then we'll make that the boys' dormitory.
Elizabeth, this is no time to bother Jim with anything like that.
Hector, the less Jim thinks about Kathy, the better it'll be. Now sit down, Jim, and drink this while it's hot.
Oh, thank you very much, Elizabeth. I don't know how to thank you and Hector enough.
Oh, poppycock. What are friends for if they can't help out once in a while? Now, are you going to sit down, or do I have to knock you down?
You, better sit down, Jim. She can get pretty rough.
I'm sure she can, Heck.
The kitchen. That's where they generally administer to the needs of the suffering father.
Doctor, is she all right?
Hello, Hector. Mrs. Smith. Well, what happened to you?
I ran into an apple. Doctor, is Kathy all right?
Of course she's all right. I just wish they'd invent a gadget to let parents know the difference between measles and a good old-fashioned bellyache.
What?
She didn't need a doctor. She needed a stomach pump. How about a glass of cider?
Well, really?
Wait a minute. You mean she just had an upset stomach?
Jim, that stomach was so stuffed nothing could upset it.
But she had a fever. Margaret said so.
You'd have a fever, too, if you'd eaten 3 boxes of donuts.
Probably ate the boxes, too.
Dr. Simmons, you mean that this whole business of quarantine was unnecessary?
That's right, unless you consider a human tapeworm contagious.
Well, I'd better send all those kids home.
Jim Anderson, I certainly hope that you'll provide the proper degree of punishment for that child of yours.
Elizabeth.
Just a minute, Elizabeth. Kathy didn't do this intentionally. She's only 9 years old and she ate too much. Now, what's so horrible about that?
Now that I think of it, it was she who suggested that I bite into that apple.
Elizabeth, she just wanted you to have a good time.
Well, I had a good time, but this wasn't it. Hector, are you going to take me home, or do I have to drag you?
Oh, all right, dear, all right. Good night, Jim. I'm sorry it wasn't the measles.
Thanks, Heck, and thanks for everything.
Say goodbye to Margaret for it.
Okay, good night, Heck.
Good night, Doc.
Good night, Hector. You know, Jim, there's just one very good reason why I never got married. Women.
Oh, it isn't that bad, Doc.
No, but I'm too old to fence with them. They change too fast. I like something you can count on. Like a good, faithful dog.
Well, you can count on Kathy. It's always the wrong way, but you can sure count on it.
We'll be back with the Andersons in a moment.
Mothers, you've probably heard Bran is good for you because it gives your family important keep regular benefits. Perhaps you've even served it, but your family didn't rave about the flavor. Well, now, Post 40% Bran Flakes brings you a marvelous new flavor called Magic Oven Flavor, plus a new crisper texture. That's why Post 40% Bran Flakes are not only good for you, they also taste downright delicious. Now you can give your family the vital, keep regular benefits of bran in a cereal they're bound to enjoy. Next time you shop, remember,
for goodness sake, eat Post Bran Flakes. So good and so good for you.
try the new 15-ounce family-size package. You'll see why Post 40% Bran Flakes are bought and enjoyed by far more people than any other Bran Flakes. They're really good, and so good for you.
Once again, the Andersons are at breakfast, and once again, the day is bright and clear. This time, however, there's an air of grim foreboding in the breakfast nook, a suspicion of dark, dire things to come.
Children, when your father comes to the table, please try not to upset him.
Well, gosh, we didn't do anything.
I know, dear. I know you think you didn't do anything, but please be careful anyway.
Creepers, it was certainly a long party, wasn't it, Mother?
Yes, dear. Kathy, sit up straight. Your father's coming now.
Oh, I'm scared.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Father.
What a day. What a beautiful, wonderful day. How are you this morning, Kathy? Feeling better?
Yes, Daddy. I feel fine.
Jim, do you feel all right?
Never felt better in my life. Oh, say, here's something I want to show you. Found it in the paper this morning. Most wonderful bit of philosophy I've ever heard. It's called Formula for Contentment, and it's very simple. All it says is this. Just think how happy you'd be if you lost everything you have right now and then got it back again. Isn't that a wonderful thought? Peaceful home, 3 wonderful children, a lovely wife. You know, Margaret, I'm a very lucky guy.
Yes, dear, and speaking for the children and myself, I'd say we're very lucky, too.
Once a year, you have the chance to make one contribution toward all the services of the community chest. Give now. Give generously. Help your community chest serve the health, welfare, and recreational needs of all America and of our servicemen and women here and abroad. Join us again next week when we'll be back with Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young as Jim Anderson. Until then, good night and good luck from the makers of Post 40% Bran Flakes, the cereal preferred and eaten by far more people than any other Bran Flakes, and Instant Sanka, the delicious coffee that lets you sleep. In our cast were Rhoda Williams as Betty, Gene Vanderpyle, Ted Donaldson, Helen Strome, Eleanor Audley, Herb Vigran, and Arthur Q. Bryan.
Calcium is essential to a child's growth.
And now there's calcium in hot wheat meal.
Calcium helps build strong, sturdy bones.
Und now there's calcium in hot wheat meal.
Calcium helps build good, strong teeth.
And now there's calcium in hot wheat meal.
Yes, a 1-ounce serving contains 1/3 of your daily calcium needs. Serve your children calcium-enriched Post wheat meal. Kids love that nut-like flavor. Wheat meal cooks instantly. Get new Post wheat meal with more calcium than any other cereal, hot or cold.
Father Knows Best was transcribed in Hollywood and written by Ed James. This is Bill Foreman speaking.
Tonight, play Truth or Consequences on the NBC Radio Network.
Good evening, friends. This is your host to welcome you through the creaking door into the inner sanctum. Come on in. One prankish little fellow, whom we shall call Maniac, for lack of a stronger word, just set fire to the walls. He said a closed room made him feel confined. As a result, 4 other characters are slightly burned up now. Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, Corpse for Halloween, was written by John Robert and stars Larry Haynes in the role of Jimmy with Barry Kroger as Kavanaugh. And now, let's unhinge our minds a little. After all, what's a little insanity among friends? Tonight's story dramatizes the fanatical hold of memory. The one scene, the one fragment that plays and replays over and over again in your mind. The one terror that's with you when you dine and when you walk and when you sleep. Sleep. Who can sleep? I'm here in the 35-cent flop, but I'm in the Burma jungle. Watching a scene that never gets stale, even though it's 5 years old. I can hear sounds travel across the brush. I pick them up as if I'm a receiving set. Animal sounds. And I see, as if my eyes are in the sky, I see two grim figures standing with their rifles aimed at a pair of jungle beasts. A tiger and its mate in a crouch, ready to jump. They fire point blank together as if by signal. So good. They miss. The beasts roar and leap. I hear them scream out, Kavanaugh and Dr. Dolan. Just before they die. 5 years. And you've been everywhere trying to forget. And you almost do forget. But it edges right back into your mind by itself. Like when a guy suddenly sneaks up on you in the night. Do you have a map? What? Do you have a map? Oh, yeah, sure. You popped up on me so suddenly. You're a nervous man. Thank you. I have a parcel with me. For you. For me? What are you kidding? No. I have a parcel for you. Here, take it. Wait a minute. Hey, wait! But he's gone. Just the way he came. As if he's a chip off my sanity. As if there'd been nobody. But there is a package left with me. The mind doesn't dream up a package. A cardboard box, heavy kind of. And tissue, lots of tissue around something that had the feel of a head. It is a head. The stuffed head of a jungle tiger. Its mouth fixed in a snarl that sends the blood hammering to my head. Doesn't make sense. No good figuring it out. Toss it into the river, box and all, and get away. Get among people. Yeah, Rocco's. Go to Rocco's. Get the jukebox going and slip into a fog. Coffee, Rocco.
Jimmy, I got something for you.
For me, Rocco?
A package. A guy come in before and leaves a package for you. See? For Jimmy Fox. Your name on it.
My name? My name's Jimmy Scott. You know that.
Scott, yes, but the man says your name is also Jimmy Fox. He says he knows.
He knows? I took the package outside into the night, into an alleyway. Another cardboard box, heavy. And tissue, lots of tissue around something that had the feel of a head. It was a head, but not a tiger's this time. It was a human skull. It shone with a hard white light where the moon touched it. And then it seemed to speak. Do you have a map? What? You're being an idiot. It isn't the skull talking to you, it's me.
You? Where are you?
I'm behind you.
I don't see you.
It's because you're afraid to. See me now? Yeah. A black suit and a face grinning at me like a laughing mask. It is a laughing mask.
Well, why are you wearing a mask?
Why not? Tonight's Halloween.
Halloween?
sure. Halloween. Not everybody plays jokes. Oh, yeah, I should have remembered it was Halloween.
Can you identify the skull?
Look, what kind of a gag are you trying?
Suppose I give you an hour to identify the skull. It's 8 now. Until 9 o'clock then, Jimmy.
Wait. Hey, wait. He was gone again. As if there'd been nobody. Just another big chip off my sanity. I really had to get away from myself now. I hit the back streets, and then somewhere a big neon sign across a tenement pulled me off the sidewalk. It read, the Tillery Street Boys Neighborhood Association. Halloween costume ball. Public invited. A girl in a booth, masked like a witch, stopped me at the door.
Mask, mister?
Mask. Oh, sure. Give me one.
Black, green, yellow, or purple? What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
All right, here you are. 50 cents.
There you are.
Oh.
Oh, what?
Just a description left with me. I'd almost forgotten. Are you Jimmy Fox?
Suppose I was Jimmy Fox. What about it?
This grocery bag was left here for you. A man told me to tell you. You forgot it somewhere. And he said that he'd meet you one place or another later. Here, take it. By the shape of it, I'd say you had a Halloween pumpkin inside.
What if I told you there was a human skull inside that grocery bag? He'd meet me one place or another. He did. He was under a street lamp, waiting for me to happen along.
Hello, Jimmy. Have you dared to call the skull by name yet? Or must I?
Look, that gag isn't paying off, mister. All right, go ahead. You call it by name.
Dolan. Boxer Dolan. Remember him?
I never knew the guy. You no doubt got me confused.
Have I, Jimmy? You've changed your appearance cleverly, except for one thing disguise could never conceal.
One thing?
Your guilt. You wear it like a badge of shame.
Oh, what am I guilty of?
Murder. 2 men left an encampment in the Burma jungle just before dawn. 2 men. Boxer Dolan and Kavanaugh. The 3rd man remained behind. He played sick, pretended to fever. The 3rd man was you, Jimmy. Must I tell you the rest?
Tell me the rest.
Dolan and Kavanaugh carried rifles in the event of a jungle encounter. There was a jungle encounter, a tiger and its mate. An emergency, but an easy one to resolve for 2 expert hunters. Just 1 shot apiece, and there'd be 2 more dead tigers. Just 1 shot apiece. They had their 1 shot apiece, but the tigers didn't drop dead in their tracks. Instead, Boxer Dolan and Kavanaugh dropped. Ask me what happened, Jimmy.
What happened?
During the night, someone had emptied their rifle loads and substituted blank bullets. You did that, Jimmy. You engineered the murder of 2 men. You murdered your 2 partners in crime. Just 1 day's push from the Hindu temple you'd all teamed up to loot. They got within 24 hours of treasure, and then you murdered them. 1 more day to the temple, so why split 3 ways, huh?
You know about the temple. But I never pushed on to that temple. No loot, no nothing. How about that?
You lost your nerve. You just hadn't counted on losing your nerve.
What are you, a detective?
No. I'm your 2nd victim on Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh? The Kavanaugh was killed.
Unfortunately for you, he wasn't. I'll show you what I had to survive. Feel my sleeve.
Feel it. It's empty.
Torn out of the socket. Now the face behind this laughing gargoyle I wear. See the left profile. Oh, it isn't pretty, is it? The eye's gone, too. I spent 5 years finding you, Jimmy. I've waited a long time to let you see my face.
You came after me to kill me?
After you've had the same 24 hours you arranged that Dolan and I would have.
What do you mean, the same 24 hours?
Unarmed,
in the jungle and helpless. I'm going to hunt you for 24 hours in this jungle, the jungle of the city, with every beast of prey I can buy. I'm going to hunt you, Jimmy. And in the end, when I've wrung every suffering from you, I'm going to kill you.
What do you mean? Every beast of prey you can buy.
The denizens of the city jungle, the riffraff, the murderers, the men and women who buy and sell murder. I can afford them, Jimmy. See this, Ruby?
Is it real?
And I have dozens, Jimmy, dozens. I didn't lose my nerve. It's 10 o'clock. You can go now. Go and see if you can escape me and my pack.
You're going through with this?
Get along, Jimmy. Hurry. The beasts will be coming at you from the sewers and the cellars, ambushing you from the shadows, into the dawn and through the day for 24 hours, until 10 tomorrow night. Or you win. You live. Hurry, Jimmy. See how painful death can be.
That Kavanaugh's one fella I never want to hunt me up. No, sir. That guy slays for creeps. 24 hours. Kavanaugh's got 24 hours to kill, and Jimmy has just enough time to die. Yes, you know, Jimmy might win out over Kavanaugh, now that he's got an extra skull to go with the one he's stuck with. After all, 2 heads are better than one. Let's live out the terror now, shall we?
An animal game of murder for 24 hours. I was to be hunted down in a jungle where human beasts came at you from the sewers and cellars, where killers in the hire of a homicidal lunatic lay in ambush. Well, I had to win. I had to save myself. I had to. Hide. The thing to do was to hide, fade into an alleyway and find a cellar and stay put for 24 hours. Just stay put. With the sickening reek of garbage cans until 10 tomorrow night. Was I alone? Movement. There was a whispering movement somewhere in the cellar. A faint rattle of ash cans, as if the wind was rattling them. Wind in an airtight cellar. Hello? Anybody there? No answer. I've been imagining. But then something winged at me, goring into my shoulder, sharp and deadly, like a knife. Came to, bleeding from a shoulder gash. I got out of there and back into the streets, into a jungle of faces. It was Halloween night like I'd never seen it. Masks and costumes on kids of 6 and old crones of 60. A crazy jungle of witches and snarling sea captains and lunatics. They couldn't all be in the hire of Kavanaugh. And then, where a fence was planted with circus posters of jungle animals, a zany-looking guy was shooting from the hip at the poster while making menacing faces like a bad man. I caught a whiff of powder in the night air. The shot had burned into the poster. I crept up behind him. Faking a gun with my fist in my coat pocket, I rammed against his back. Get him up, pal, reach.
I got nothing and I'm service.
Your gun, I want your gun. Hand it over.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Now walk. Walk up the block and don't turn back to look. I had a gun now, and the tables were turned. I was the hunter now. I drifted to the docks and took up a position with my back to the river.
Thinking of suicide, Jimmy?
Not anymore, Kavanaugh.
You sound as if your morale had suddenly improved.
My morale's going great, Kavanaugh. Your animal hunt's about to boomerang, blow right up in your face like this. Honey, move! Kavanaugh. Who's hunting who? Kavanaugh kept standing up. 3 bullets, point blank, enough to blow his head off, but Kavanaugh kept standing up unharmed.
How does it feel to hunt game with blank cartridges like Boxer Dolan and I did once?
Blank cartridges? But that crazy-looking guy, I saw him burn a hole in the circus poster.
Only 1 bullet. The first one was real. Simple.
Yeah, simple. I get it. Dead-Eye Dick was another one of your beasts.
Who's hunting who, Jimmy? Who's hunting who?
Kavanaugh! Kavanaugh, wait! Kavanaugh, kill me! Get it over with and kill me now, will you? Kavanaugh, you gotta kill me! I had to get out of there. The subway. Yeah, the subway. Fade into the subway. Get on a train and ride to the end of the line. Ride out of the jungle. An empty station. No one in it. No someone. 2 people. A dapper little guy buried behind a newspaper. And an old lady in ragged clothes carrying a pet half hidden under a coat. A pet that looked like a cat. She came up to me, close, like to ask me something.
This side goes to Lefferts Avenue Station?
Lefferts, I don't know. I'm a stranger here.
Hush, Genevieve. Oh, Genevieve is hungry.
That's not a cat.
No, son. A cub. A tiger cub.
A tiger cub?
Would you like to stroke Genevieve?
No.
Don't run away, stop. Genevieve won't hurt.
I ran away with the old crone after me, hobbling on her skirts, and the little dapper guy behind the newspaper circling at me from the opposite direction, cornering me. I jumped to the tracks, my only out, and I ran. I ran it deep into the bowels of the subway, deep, very deep. With the little dapper guy after me, as if he meant business. And then the train. It had a Halloween look, too, bearing down on me. An iron face with banjo eyes. I ran against the wall and flattened out. The train flashed past and the dapper little guy screamed. Kavanaugh was shy, one beast in his jungle. The little guy had been hit glancingly and hurled against the subway wall, pulverized. I got to him quickly and frisked him. I had a gun now. A gun with bullets that killed. I ran a half mile underground to another station, and then back on the streets. Back in the animal game. It was 3 a.m. A neon sign read Hillary Street Boys Neighborhood Association. Halloween costume party. People were straggling out. The fun was over.
Oh.
What?
You remember me?
No.
I'm the witch who gave you a free mask and a grocery bag that you forgot somewhere. And you're Jimmy Fox.
Jimmy Scott. I used to be Jimmy Fox. Sister, are you all right?
Am I all right?
I mean, are you just what you look? A sweet kid with brown eyes and a heart.
Are you drunk?
No, beat. I'm dead beat. I've got to hole up somewhere, get some shut-eye. I've got to or I'll die.
You're sick?
Yeah, I'm sick. If I could just sleep around the clock until 10 tomorrow night. If an angel came along and said, come home with me, I'll put you up.
Come home with me, Jimmy. I'll put you up.
I fell asleep on the sofa with the gun under my pillow and the girl on a chair watching me anxiously. I had a friend. I could drop off and live in dreamland until 10 that night. At 10, I could wake up and live. Coming awake, I heard the alarm we'd set go off. The alarm stopped. And there was a sound. An animal sound. And then a claw scratching at me, tearing at my cheek. And I jumped up. The girl was gone. A guy was sitting watching me now. A skinny kid with a heavy shock of hair, not a day over 21.
Oh, that's a lousy way to have to wake up from a sleep, pal.
Lousy way. There was an animal clawing at me. My cheek's bleeding.
And Genevieve, she isn't housebroken. Still a little wild. You should have seen her dash for the kitchen when you let out a scream just now.
Genevieve. Who are you?
You're Jimmy Fox, huh?
Yeah.
I got something for you.
For me?
Yeah, it was given to me to give to you. Here.
A ruby. Hey, wait a minute, look. It's 10 o'clock. I set the alarm for 10, and it's 10.
Well, it's only a quarter hour. That clock's always 15 minutes ahead.
Now the game's over. It's 10, and you can't cheat. I've won, Kavanaugh. You can't go back on your promise, Kavanaugh. You can't.
What are you trying to get over, pal? I don't understand.
I've won. You can't cheat. I won't be tricked.
A gun. Pal, you're crazy. Here, wait, look.
Oh! You're crazy. It's 10, and I won't be tricked, Kavanaugh. I've won. I'm still on the sofa. My arms are rigid, and my legs rigid. Like something exploded inside me and paralyzed my nerves. I can just look and hear. She's in the room now. A girl with a sweet face and brown eyes. Only her eyes are red, swollen from crying. I hear her talking to a cop. He's taking down what she said.
He was a stray. He was like a sick dog in the street. So I picked him up and brought him home.
Yes, why did he kill your brother, Buddy?
I don't know. I was taking a shower, and I heard him scream like a crazy man. I heard him talk all mixed up. But I was taking a shower, and I couldn't get here in time.
There must be something you can tell me, miss.
Oh, officer, everything is all mixed up. At the Tillery Street costume ball, a man gave me a cap with tiger stripes, and he begged me to keep it for him for a while until he found a new home for it. He'd been evicted, he said.
Yes?
Well, then, in the all-night restaurant my brother works in, a man gave Buddy a ruby to give to Jimmy Fox. When he woke up, he told my brother the ruby belonged to Jimmy Fox.
This piece of glass?
Yes.
That's something off the Woolworth time counter. What else?
That's all. Really, that's all.
I watch and I hear. I see through Kavanaugh's trick. Get me crazy, so I'll murder a stranger who called himself Buddy. The brother of a girl with brown eyes and a heart. Frame me, so I'll just want to die. Through weeks of a murder trial and months in the death house and 4 minutes in the death chair. I kept listening to them talk. The girl and the cop.
Okay. We'll have to get the rest from Jimmy Fox there. Yeah, look at him. He's paralyzed with fright. I wonder what kind of a crazy Halloween story he's going to try to palm off on us when we get it talking. Captain Devereux speaking. McAvoy, send a police ambulance to 445 10th Street, apartment 3 rear. And McAvoy, see that a straitjacket's on that ambulance.
Well, quite a chase. It got so poor Jim didn't know whether he was coming or going. Nuts. What got his goat most was the way he kept seeing animals everywhere. Very confusing to a guy on the lam. Yeah, it got so he couldn't tell whose zoo. Tomorrow? Oh, sure. I read this Halloween notice on a tree somewhere. Never hunt out of reason. Good night.
heard in the United States over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, and has been rebroadcast for servicemen and women overseas.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O top. Filka puddings, yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers, it's late afternoon, and George Cooper is on his way home from the bank. He just got his car out of Miller's garage where he left it to be overhauled, and is on his way to Sally's beauty parlor where he left his wife, Liz, to be overhauled. He pulls to a stop by an attractive girl standing on the corner.
Going my way, baby?
Oh, hi, George.
I didn't know it was you, Liz.
Oh, George, you pull that same corny gag every time you pick me up for the last 10 years.
Well, it always gets a rise out of you.
Well, not today.
Hey, come on, get in.
Well, I'm trying.
What are you doing, Liz? You can't open the door with your elbows. Use your hands.
I can't. My nail polish isn't dry. Oh, I can't do it. Well, you're certainly being a big help.
Well, I'm thinking. Try using your teeth.
Oh, skip it. You just drive on home, and I'll run along behind you. A breeze will dry my polish.
I'm just kidding you, honey. Here, I'll open the door.
Well, thank you. You know, George, before we were married, you would have leaped out of the car, sprinted around to the other side, and swung open the door for me.
Well, that was 10 years ago. If I did that today, I'd have a heart attack.
If you did that today, I'd have a heart attack.
Well, you're in a good mood.
Oh, I'm sorry, George, but while I was in the beauty parlor, Sally told me some very disturbing news.
There's a strike in the henna factory.
No, it was really serious. Now, who do you think is giving a party and hasn't invited us?
Elsa Maxwell?
Oh, if you're going to be smart, Alecky, I won't tell you.
Okay.
I mean it. I won't tell you.
No, okay by me.
Begging will get you nowhere. Well, all right, I'll tell you. The Atterberries are having a costume party Halloween night, and they didn't invite us.
What?
It's true, so help me.
Oh, I don't believe it. Who told you a thing like that?
Sally, my beauty operator.
Oh, well, I might have known. How does Sally find out everything?
I don't know. I think she has a wire recorder hidden in the hairdryer. But she's always right.
Oh, ridiculous. What reason would the Atterburys have for not inviting us to their party?
Well, I thought you might know. Is everything all right at the bank?
Well, certainly. Oh, this doesn't make sense. We probably just haven't received our invitation yet. It'll be there in the morning mail.
Well, if it isn't, I know what I'm going to do.
What?
I'm going to RSVP without being ASKED.
Liz, come and eat breakfast and stop looking for the mailman. You're pushing your nose all out of shape against the window.
No, I'm not, George. No, I'm not, George. Why doesn't that mailman come?
Well, maybe because it's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
But Mr. Negley's usually here by this... Oh, I know the answer. It's Katie's day off. He starts at the other end of the route when she's not here to give him his breakfast coffee.
Smart operator. Say, how's Katie doing with him? Making any headway?
Oh, yes. She's gotten him to the lap-sitting stage.
No.
Yep. He finally agreed to sit on her lap.
He sits on her lap?
Well, he's so small, George. She'd squash him. Oh, darn it, where is he? This is our last chance. If that invitation doesn't come this morning, we'll know the Atterburys deliberately snubbed us.
Look, Liz, if the Atterburys want to give a party and not ask us, it's their business. They probably have a very good reason.
There couldn't be any good reason for not asking us. We're their closest friends. They couldn't do a thing like that to us.
Well, we've given parties without asking them.
That was different. I had a very good reason.
All right, I can't argue with that kind of feminine logic. Anyway, you only have a beauty operator's rumor that they're giving a party at all.
Oh, no, I checked on it. I had Katie call the Atterburys' maid last night, and they are having a party.
No, I don't understand it.
Oh, there's Mr. Negley.
Yeah, but your breakfast is getting cold.
Well, I'm not hungry. Mr. Negley, am I glad to see you?
Really? Well, I always look forward to seeing you, too.
Oh. Well, thank you. May I have our mail, please?
Is Katie home?
No. May I have our mail, please?
You know, Mrs. Cooper, I like Katie. Someday, if things go well, maybe she'll let me put my stamp on her envelope.
Mr. Negley, will you give me our mail, please?
I'd love to change her zone number to mine. But she's really too good for me. She's first-class matter.
Yes, could I have...
She's better than that. She's airmail special delivery.
Well, I'm sure she is.
Registered.
Look, Mr. Negley, someday I hope you and Katie settle down and raise a lot of little postcards. But right now, will you please give me our mail?
Oh, yes, I have a letter for you here somewhere. Oh, here it is.
I'll take it. Oh.
Well, you see, Grabby? You've only got half of it. It served you right.
Well, this might be it. Let's see. You are cordially invited. Quick, what does the other half say?
To bring your car home for service.
Great. Isn't there another letter for us?
No, that's all.
Maybe you made a mistake.
Please. There isn't a man in postal service who sorts his mail more carefully than Harrison Q. Negley.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, let me take a look. Maybe it's stuck down there someplace.
Take your hands off my mail bag!
Mr. Negley, this is more important than you think.
You're tampering with the U.S. mail.
Oh?
Now look what you've done. I'm all unsorted. And heaven knows what you've done to my fragile. Oh, why didn't I stay in Parcel Post?
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Negley. I thought sure I'd get a letter from Mrs. Atterbury. Here, I'll help you sort.
No, just leave me alone. And if you're talking about Mrs. Atterbury's party, I delivered those invitations last week, and you didn't get one, and I'm glad. Do you hear me? Glad.
Well, Rudolph, curiosity is about to kill a cat. Guess who just called on the phone?
Who, Lotus Bud?
Liz Cooper. She and George are down at the corner drugstore, and they want to drop by.
Oh, Iris, I wanted to watch television.
Well, you can't. They're coming over.
You mean I have to miss Hopalong Cassidy? This may be the night he gets killed.
I guarantee he won't. Now, they'll be here any minute. Help me pick up the papers on the floor. And remember, not a word about the Halloween party.
Well, don't worry about me. I'm not the blabbermouth in this family.
Well, I can't wait to see their faces when they find out we're giving a surprise Halloween party for them.
Yeah, and at their house. Yeah. Does everyone know what to do?
Oh, sure. We're meeting at Cooper's side door at 8:30 and sneaking in through the kitchen. And then when they... There they are. Now remember, don't even mention Halloween. Liz girl. George.
Hi, Iris.
George boy, Liz girl.
Hi, boy.
Well, come in. Well, I hope you don't mind that we came over without an invitation.
Oh, that's all right. What's new, Liz?
Oh, nothing. What's new with you?
Nothing.
Oh.
How about you, Rudolph? Rudolph?
Yes, Hopalong? I mean, no, nothing new with me.
Nothing new with me either.
Nobody asked you. Speaking of the holiday weekend, what are you folks going to do?
What holiday weekend?
Monday is Halloween.
Rudolph! Monday is Halloween!
No!
Yes. Halloween, when people give parties and everybody comes in costume and you invite your best friends.
Sounds like fun.
It's too bad someone isn't giving a party.
Oh, Liz.
Yes?
There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Yes?
Are you doing anything?
No, not a thing. We'd love to come. What time?
8 o'clock.
Fine.
Yes. 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, we start collecting newspapers for the Salvation Army.
Oh.
Come on, Liz. We'd better go.
Wait a minute, George. It's for such a worthy cause, Iris. Let's not wait till Wednesday morning. Let's start sooner, say, Monday night.
Well, I'd like to, dear, but...
Would you like an ashtray for that butt, darling?
My mother isn't feeling well, and we're having dinner with her, yes.
Yes, we always spend Halloween with the old witch.
Rudolph!
What? Only trying to help.
Don't bother. We don't have to have a brick Atterbury fall on us to get the idea. Come on, George. Good night. Well, George, now are you satisfied?
You were right, Liz. I can't get over it. I don't know what to do.
Well, I do. While they're having their party, we'll soap their windows and kick over their garbage cans.
And stick a pin in their doorbell.
No, I have a better idea, George. We'll give our own Halloween party and invite everyone but the Atterburys. There's not room in this town for both of us, George. The Atterburys must go.
And now, back to the Coopers. There's a certain party in Sheridan Falls who is upset because she hasn't been invited to a certain party. If Liz only knew that the certain party is a surprise party for her, she'd be the most surprised party of all. Well, Liz is determined to get even, so right now she's busy inviting all her friends to an opposition party that she's giving.
Hello, Mary. Liz Cooper. We're giving a Halloween party tomorrow night, and we wondered if you... What? Oh, your mother's sick? Well, some other time. Goodbye.
How are you doing, Liz?
If the next 3 couples can come, we'll have 6 people at the party.
That doesn't sound like much of a party.
Well, we can keep moving and make it look like a crowd. Hello, Betty Ray? Liz Cooper. We're giving a party tomorrow night, and... Oh, you can't? Oh, she is. Well, goodbye, and tell your mother I hope she feels better. Bye.
Another refusal.
I don't get it. That makes the 14th one. There must be an epidemic of sick mothers. Well, I'll keep trying. Somebody's mother has to be healthy. I never heard of... Hello, Margaret. Liz Cooper. I wondered if you and Hunt could... Oh, you couldn't? I didn't even ask you yet. Oh, you heard. Oh, your father's sick. Too bad. Well, bye, Margaret.
Well, at least she's different. Her father's sick.
I'll bet he caught it from someone's mother.
Don't you care, honey. You and I will have our own little party right here.
George, something awful is wrong. Our best friends all turned us down. All of them.
Well, forget it, baby. We'll take a course at Arthur Murray's and be successes again.
Oh, it isn't funny. We're social misfits. We're being shunned by society.
Oh, now let's not get carried away.
Well, it's true. First the Atterburys and then all our other friends, making excuses and acting funny.
Me?
Even the birds have left our birdhouse.
They always go south this time of year.
But this year they went early. George, there's something horrible the matter with one of us.
One of us?
Yes, and I know it isn't you, because you're just as wonderful as you've ever been. It's me, and I'm holding you back.
Oh, now, Liz, now don't talk like that.
George, you're my best friend. Is there something even you haven't been able to tell me? Have I been careless about the little things?
Well, now that you mention it, there is something I noticed.
What?
You've only been taking 30 seconds for your 60-second workout.
Oh, George. How can you make jokes when we're social outcasts?
Oh, well, now, honey, it isn't worth crying over.
I'm not crying. I don't care about those people. I hate them.
Well, I'm going to call up Atterbury right now and ask him what this is all about.
No, he won't tell you. You'll be embarrassed. I know, George. I've got it. Let's go to the Atterbury's party.
Liz, have you cracked your crock?
Don't you see? It's a costume party, so nobody will know us, and we'll mingle with the guests and say, "Isn't it shocking about the Coopers?" And when they answer us, we'll find out the awful truth.
You've got something there, Liz. But what kind of costume shall we wear?
Well, the way people are acting, we ought to go dressed as a couple of skunks. Drive faster, George. We'll be late for the party.
Well, I still don't think we ought to go. These costumes we're wearing are so silly. 2 policemen's uniforms and water pistols.
You're just mad because you're a sergeant and I'm a lieutenant. Kiss me, Sergeant. That's an order.
Couldn't you have gotten some other costumes?
I told you the only other thing he had left was...
Well, what's the matter with that? At least it would have been unusual.
I'll say it would. They were both hind ends. George, can't you drive faster? It's bad enough to be uninvited. Let's not be late, too.
I'm doing 35.
Oops, there goes another one.
Another what?
Well, every time a car goes to pass us, the driver sees our cop costumes and slows down. We've got 15 cars lined up in back of us.
How do you like that?
Hey, let's turn in the police call. Let's play cops and robbers. Which station is it, George?
Way down at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
Calling car 29. Car 29. Investigate auto wreck at corner Elm and 8. If car not too badly damaged, make offer. The chief is looking for used cars.
Oh, great.
Watch for robberies in Northside Residential District. Thieves in costumes crashing Halloween parties. Victims report some dressed as policemen.
Uh-oh.
And you had to pick up policemen's uniforms for us.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like the feel of this. Let's go home.
Oh, don't be silly, George. No one will bother us.
Well, all right.
Oh, no.
Pull over the crime.
Now what do we do? He'll think we're those crooks.
Well, don't stop. Keep on going.
Nothing doing. I'll just have to explain and hope he believes me.
No, if he doesn't, we'll miss the party. Pretend you're a real cop.
Liz.
Go ahead. I won't say anything.
And why are we two holding up traffic? Oh, yeah. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I didn't see you.
Oh, that's all right.
I was speaking to the lieutenant. I apologize, Lieutenant.
That's all right, officer. Drive on, Sergeant.
Oh, Lieutenant, any further news of those masquerading crooks?
Yes. There's no truth to that report. Forget about them. Drive on, Sergeant.
Attention all cars. Keep special lookout for criminals in masquerade costumes.
Drive on, Sergeant.
Just a minute. I don't remember seeing you two on the force before.
Well, you see, we're really plainclothesmen, but our plain clothes are being cleaned.
I thought so. Let me see your credentials.
Certainly. Well, what do you know? Must have left them in my plain clothes.
That's all.
Oh, no, it isn't. Let me see your credentials.
What?
Maybe you're the fake one. I can prove I'm a real cop.
How?
I got a witness. Sergeant?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Sergeant, am I a real cop?
Yes, Lieutenant.
There you are. Drive on, Sergeant.
Let me see your badge.
Let me see your badge.
There.
Sheridan Falls Police Force 158. Here, take a look at mine. That's enough.
Well, let me see them. Post Toasties Junior Team.
Well, you see, we're not local cops.
What's that Post Toasties business?
That's for my serial number.
All right, you're coming with me.
Oh, you really fixed this up, Liz.
You'll never take us alive, George. I still got my gun, one squirt for each of us.
Come on, out of the car.
Oh, look, officer, we're not crooks. My name is George Cooper. I live at 321 Bundy Drive, and I'm vice president of the Sheridan Falls National Bank. Now, if you'll just follow us home, I'll show you plenty of identification.
Well, okay, but no funny business. I'll just get in the back seat and go with you.
No, thank you.
Drive on, Sergeant.
Oh, cut it out, Liz.
Okay.
This is our house, officer.
Well, it better.
Hey, wait a minute. Look there at the side door. Some figures slipping into our house.
And they're in costume.
Yeah.
We found the gang.
Wait a minute. Have you led me into a trap?
No. Believe us. We don't know anything about it. Those people are crooks.
And they're robbing our house. Oh, what do we do?
We better call the police.
Yeah, we better call... What do you think I am, Western Union?
Well, we don't know if you're real or not.
Let's not start that again.
They'll hear us.
Oh, come on. We'll catch them red-handed.
Okay.
Now, quiet, everybody. We'll sneak up to the door. Okay. Now, let's rush it.
All right, everybody, hands up. Iris!
Mr. Atterbury!
Good boy! I knew it. You're all in this together.
You mean this is a surprise party for us?
Yes, you didn't suspect a thing, did you?
Well, not a thing.
And what wonderful costumes you have.
Okay. Hands up, everybody.
Oh, for goodness sake. Introduce us to your friend, Liz.
I can't get over it. A surprise party, and all the time we thought nobody liked us.
Oh, listen to me. Hands up, everybody.
Look, fella, you made your entrance. The gag's over.
Oh, here we have all these wonderful friends, and we thought nobody liked us.
Hands up, please.
Look, Buster, you're overdoing your act. And take that false face off. It's horrible.
Won't anybody put their hands up? I'm going to tell my sergeant about this.
Oh, George. And we thought nobody liked us. Bob Lamont.
Yes, Lucille.
Bob, if I'm not being too personal, how many people do you think eat Jell-O puddings?
You know, I've been wondering the same thing.
You have.
How did you happen to ask me that just at this moment?
Well, I don't know. It was just the next line in my script. Why don't we ask a fortune teller, Bob? My rates are very reasonable.
You, a fortune teller?
Yeah, don't tell a soul. See, my real name isn't Lucille. It's Crystal. Crystal Ball. Step right into my tent and I will tell the future for you.
Good afternoon. Are you Madam Ball?
Cross my palm with silver.
But your hand is bandaged. What happened?
My last customer crossed my palm with silver.
Well, who was he?
The Lone Ranger. What is it you wish to know? I know all. Nothing is unknown to me. Now, wait a minute. Where'd I put that crystal ball? Oh, here it is.
Tell me, madam, as you gaze into the future, do you see any Jell-O chocolate pudding, absolutely luscious with deep-down chocolatey goodness?
Well, let me take a look. Let's see. There's the results for tomorrow's races. We don't want those. The inauguration of our next president? No. Who's going to play in the Rose Bowl game? No. Nope. Nothing here about Jell-O chocolate pudding.
Well, how about Jell-O butterscotch pudding with that buttery brown sugar flavor? Or Jell-O vanilla pudding, rich and smooth as cream?
Oh, now, let me see. Aha! Are they swell desserts for the kids?
Yes.
Or do you simply add milk and they cook to velvety perfection in just about 5 minutes?
That's it.
Nope, don't see a thing about them. You forgot to cross my palm with silver.
All right, here.
Well, look at all the Jell-O puddings. Everyone's crazy about them. Old people are saying Jell-O puddings are fine. Young people are saying Jell-O puddings are great. Gay people are saying Jell-O puddings are swell.
Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball and My Favorite Husband again next week, presented by
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O duck. The Oka pudding just go in.
Suspense. Tonight, You'll Never See Me Again, starring Joseph Cotton. Suspense is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness and entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California, who tonight from Hollywood bring you as star Mr. Joseph Cotton. And so with Cornell Woolrich's story of marriage and murder called You'll Never See Me Again, and with the performance of Mr. Cotton as an American husband named Ed Bliss, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
Oh, you're walking out on me.
What does it look like to you?
Like you're walking out on me? Got everything you need?
At least I'm glad you're showing your true colors. I'd rather have found it out now than later.
Didn't take you long, did it, baby? If you're looking for your coat, it's in here.
Thanks.
Need any money?
I don't need anything from you, including your wedding ring. There. You know what you can do with it.
Sure, hock it. Well, pick a nice, quiet hotel.
I don't have to pick a hotel. I'm no orphan.
And when you get good and sick of it, come on back and maybe I'll still be here.
You'll still be here. You'll never see me again as long as you live.
You'll never see me again as long as you live. You'll never see me again as long as you live, she said. If I'd known then what I know now, I guess that wouldn't have sounded so funny. All right. Maybe I'm not the easiest guy in the world to get along with, but it's perfectly natural for a couple to have at least one good fight after they've been married nearly 3 months. And I just wasn't going to be the first one to say uncle, that's all. Still, you don't wait around forever when your wife walks out on you, even if you are playing hard to get. So the third evening, I put in a call. I knew all along she'd head for her mother's place, and anyway, she practically told me where she was going when she left.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is this, Mrs. Alden?
Yes.
Oh, this is Ed, Janet's husband?
Oh, yes. How is Janet?
Isn't she there with you?
With me? Why, no. Isn't she with you?
No. That was all I needed to hear. Grabbed my hat and headed for the bus station. That was the only way she could have possibly gone to her mother's place at that time of night, by bus. First, I wanted to find out if there was anybody who could positively identify her as having left. The guy at the ticket office wasn't very bright.
To West Hampton?
Yeah.
Well, seems like I remember somebody like that.
It would have been Monday night, just about this time.
West Hampton, Monday night.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Couldn't be sure, though.
Never mind. Give me a ticket.
Where to?
Where do you think? West Hampton. She was blonde, blue eyes, good looking.
Sure. I remember her.
Where'd you get off?
I think it was West Hampton.
Close for the night, mister. Pumps are all locked.
I just wanted some information.
Huh?
Can you tell me where the Aldens live?
Alden? Oh, yeah, they're those new people.
Yeah.
Well, you go up the crossroad there and then turn to your left, go on down the hill. It's the 4th driveway on your right.
Did anyone ask you how to get there last Monday night?
Oh, we're closed Monday.
Thanks.
The 4th driveway on your right.
Must be somebody lost their way.
Yes?
I'm Ed Bliss, Janet's husband.
Oh, yes. Come in, Ed. I've been looking forward so much to meeting you. I wish it could have been under different circumstances, though.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Haven't you heard anything yet, Ed?
No, me?
I can't understand it. It's not like her to do a thing like that. Oh, Ed, pardon me. I want you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Farley. We were just playing a little bridge.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And this is my husband, Joe Alden. Guess that makes him your stepfather-in-law, doesn't it? Joe, this is Ed Bliss.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you, Ed.
Well, I guess we'd better be going.
Yes, I guess we have.
I do hope that your wife... I mean...
Well, I wouldn't worry about that.
You heard about it, did you?
Well, Ed, you see, they dropped in a little while after you phoned, and we thought...
Oh, that's all right.
Well, thanks for asking us over.
Come again real soon.
Yes, we'll do that.
We will.
I hope
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh,
Good night. Oh, Ed, I hope you didn't mind about them.
It's all right. It's okay.
Well, come on into the living room then and tell us about it.
Not much to tell you that you don't know, is there?
No, I suppose not.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Can't I get you something to eat?
No, thanks.
Oh, some coffee or
I
something.
think I'll pass up the refreshments this time.
Well, I know how you must feel.
Yeah, I guess you do.
But I still can't. I just can't.
You've painted this room lately, haven't you?
Yeah. What about it?
Nothing, just looks a little funny, that's all.
You think so?
Yeah, that brick wall in front of the house is kind of new, too, isn't it?
You know I'm a bricklayer by trade, don't you?
Well, now that you mention it,
Oh, Joe, how can you talk about...
You better go on upstairs, Laura. She's taking it pretty hard.
Yeah.
You seem to be bearing up all right, though.
You haven't lost any sleep over it yet yourself, have you?
I'm not her husband.
This isn't getting us anywhere. What was that?
Laura, I guess she's going to bed.
Oh. Well, I guess I better be getting down to get that last bus.
How about staying overnight?
No, thanks.
Suit yourself. Wait a minute, I'll put the porch light on.
I'd say all right.
That's better. By the way, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
I suppose you and Janet had a row.
What's that got to do with anything?
I hear you got kind of a temper. Were you a little too quick with the flat of your hand?
What's all this for, the benefit of the neighbors?
Might be. Have you notified the police yet?
No, and I don't like the way you ask questions.
Okay. Want me to walk down to the bus with you? It's pretty dark.
Maybe that's why I'd rather walk down alone.
Now, wait a minute, Ed. I think maybe you got me
All
wrong.
right. Maybe I have. Say good night to Mrs. Alden for me.
Yeah. Let us hear from you.
Don't worry. You'll hear from me all right. Still plenty dark when I got back to town, but I took the shortcut at the corner just the same, a path across a vacant lot. Between the lot and my house, there's a hedge. I was just going through it when I stopped cold. There was a light on in my house. Only it wasn't a regular light. It was the beam of a flashlight moving past the living room window. That could only mean one thing, cops. Of course, it was Joe Alden that tipped them off. I just waited, and then I heard the front door open and close. I saw two men standing outside, and one of them went up the street. Pretty soon I heard a car drive off. The other man was just a shadow now, standing by a tree in front of the house. You could see he was expecting me to come from the other direction. I stepped through the hedge and went over to him. Would you be looking for anybody in particular?
I might be. Who are you?
Ed Bliss. Who are you?
Detective Stillman, Bureau of Missing Persons. How did you know anyone was looking for you?
Oh, I'm just bright that way.
Yeah? Well, they like bright boys down at headquarters. Come on, let's go.
Tonight, for Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. Joseph Cotton, whom you've heard in the first act of tonight's tale of Suspense.
In many foreign countries where discerning tastes have found Roma wines, they are an expensive luxury, imported and treasured. For Roma wines are in every sense fine wines from the choicest vineyard country of California. They are products of age-old winemaking skill, aided by modern quality controls and tests that assure unvarying excellence of taste and character. Yet, Roma wines cost you mere pennies a glassful. Such enjoyable flavor and constant quality, such low cost, such high wine value, have made Roma by far America's largest selling wines, enjoyed by millions with meals when entertaining anytime. Try Roma wine yourself. Tomorrow at dinner, no matter what you're serving, place on the table a cool bottle of ruby red, hearty Roma California Burgundy. See how much new zest it adds to food, how it makes a real occasion of even the simplest meal. To enjoy this extra mealtime pleasure, just ask your dealer for R-O-M-A, Roma wine, made in California, for enjoyment throughout the world.
And now it is with pleasure that we bring back to our soundstage Mr. Joseph Cotton, who, in the person of Ed Bliss, resumes the story called You'll Never See Me Again. Tonight's study in Suspense.
Stood there in the shadows watching my face. Detective Stillman of the Bureau of Missing Persons. I'd been expecting this to happen sooner or later, but now that it had, I was stunned for a moment. He said it again.
Come on, bright boy. They're expecting us at headquarters.
Now, wait a minute. I want to talk to you. I'm in a jam.
Oh, you're telling me.
Not the way you think. Would you come inside with me?
I've been inside. What kind of a furnace do you have in your cellar, Bliss?
An oil burner.
The kind that turns on automatic with an electric cut-in?
That's right. Why? Is there a fuse blown?
How did you know there was a fuse blown?
Was that why you were searching my house with a flashlight, or was it because you didn't have a warrant?
Oh, you really are a bright boy, aren't you? Well, come on.
Now, listen. I don't want to have any arguments. I want help, and I want it bad. Will you give me a break?
What kind of a break?
No, this is no place to talk. Will you come inside?
Okay, but you'd better talk fast and good.
Don't worry. Fuse box is right down here. Flash your light up here. Always keep a couple of fuses on top of it. Yeah. There we are. Let's go in the front room.
After you.
Okay.
Now, what do you want to talk about?
Don't you understand? She's my wife. I'm scared.
Then why did you run out? Why didn't you tell the police?
Because at first I thought it was just, one of those things. And anyway, I knew where she'd gone, back to her mother's.
How did you know that?
Because I went down there after her, because all kinds of people saw her go. Bus drivers, ticket sellers. Only when I got there, she wasn't there.
How much life insurance did you carry on her, Bliss?
$25,000.
Oh, that's quite a lot for a $75 a week architect, isn't it?
Oh, her mother paid for it. A wedding present. For heaven's sake, what do you think I did? Burn it in the cellar or something?
No, we know you didn't do that. We looked.
Oh, cut it out, will you? I love her. We've only been married 3 months.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Give me a break. You take me down to headquarters now. It may be hours.
Oh, it'll be hours, all right.
In the meantime, if there's still a chance, there's got to be. She's somewhere, and she's in danger. I know it.
Yeah, how?
I tell you, I followed her down to her mother's place in West Hampton. There's a guy at the station who remembers selling her a ticket. The bus driver remembers her getting off there, and then she just disappeared.
Then what?
Well, I went down to her mother's house. They hadn't seen her. But there's something funny about it. There's something funny about her mother and that stepfather. There's something funny about that house and about that room.
What room?
That living room of theirs. Listen, you've got to let me help you find her. You've got to go down there to West Hampton with me because I've got a hunch somehow that I'm the only one who can find her.
All right, Bliss. All right. I don't know why, but I believe you.
You do? You'll go?
Yeah. And I shouldn't believe you either because...
Because what?
What was your wife wearing when she ran out on you Monday night?
What was she wearing?
Yes. You must remember what she was wearing.
Well, she was wearing a gray flannel suit, a skirt and jacket, you know, a pink silk shirtwaist, patent leather high-heel shoes, and those crazy little hats.
Any baggage?
Yeah, a little tan suitcase.
You're sure of that?
Sure.
Well, that's why I shouldn't believe you.
Why not?
Because when you find somebody's clothes around, you usually start looking for the body right nearby.
Well, what do you mean?
They weren't burnt up because that fuse had blown. But we found every one of those things in the furnace down in your cellar about 20 minutes ago.
When he said that, I knew there wasn't much time. But he was going up to West Hampton with me anyway. That was the main thing. Of course, first he had to rout out the bus driver, the ticket seller, and check my story with them just to be sure I wasn't trying to pull a fast one. But that was all right. I'd expected that. And we climbed into the police car and headed out to West Hampton. He believed me now, all right. That car couldn't have been pushed any harder if I'd been driving it myself. Still, it was getting daylight when we got there. Parked the car a little ways down the road and walked toward the house. See what I mean, Bert? Take that brick wall, for instance.
Oh, what about it?
It's new. What did he build that for? It's not tall enough to hide the road. It's not even tall enough to keep a dog out. Why'd he build it?
Well, maybe he built it to keep in practice. Come on, let's go in.
Awfully quiet.
Well, why not? They're probably in bed. Where I'd be if I hadn't let you talk me into this.
Listen, Bert, you don't think...
I'm here, ain't I? Go on, ring the bell.
No answer.
Keep trying.
Shades are all down. I don't think they're in.
Come on, let's try the back door.
Shades are down on this side of the house, too. Look, the garage is empty.
Yeah. Well, I guess our birds have flew the coop, all right.
Bert, I don't like this.
Come on, we'll try this back door anyway.
Uh-oh.
It's locked.
Here's an axe.
I'd like to try my keys first. There, that's got it. This the way to the front of the house?
I guess so. I've never been back here.
Yeah, this is it. Here's the front hall.
There it is.
What?
That room. The living room I was telling you about.
Well, what about it?
Snap on the lights.
All right, I still say, what about it?
I don't know, but don't you get something funny about it?
Oh, what?
Well, the lights, or something about that fresh paint, the rug. There's something, though I know there's something.
Oh, come on. We're wasting time. There's something screwy about the whole joint.
We went over the place from top to bottom. I wanted to get back to that room, and time was awful important. But Brett Stillman wanted to look into everything, which was only right and natural, and then we ran into something that was just about the last thing I expected.
What's this door here?
I don't know. I thought we'd covered everything on the ground floor before.
locked.
Yeah, it must be some sort of back bedroom.
Oh, doggone it, the keys won't fit this one.
Funny. Only room in the house that was locked.
Well, maybe we've got what we're looking for. Give me that axe.
Good. Don't you see, if she was here and they've gone, they must have taken her.
Well, who's she?
Mrs. Alden.
Your wife's mother?
Yeah.
Where's your daughter?
Oh, please, please.
Come on. Where is she?
I don't know.
Was she here?
Yes, but
Where is she now?
I don't know.
Did she leave with your husband?
I don't.
Why didn't you tell me she was here the other night?
Joe told me not to. She was here, but the next morning Joe told me she'd left. And this morning he left.
Look, what did you lock yourself up in here for?
I knew when Joe left that something terrible. And when you came, I was frightened. I just...
Come on, Ed. Where to? Don't you get it? For some reason, the stepfather's put the snatch on her. We've got to put a call through to headquarters, get the highway patrols to watch for him.
What about her?
Oh, she comes along.
Oh, please.
Come on. Yeah,
there's something wrong about
you. Bet your life there is.
No, I mean, why would he do it? What motive would he have?
You let me worry about the motive. You worry about your wife.
It's got some connection with what's wrong about that room, whatever it is.
Will you forget about this room? We've got to get...
I want to look just once more. I know there's something.
Listen. Do you want your wife back or don't you? There's no...
Bert, I've got it.
Got what?
It's lopsided. Don't you see? It's not on the square.
Are you crazy?
Oh, no, I'm an architect. Look, the light's on in the middle of the ceiling. The window's on in the middle of the wall.
So what?
The design on the rug is wrong. It's cut off too close to that wall. Bert.
What?
That wall. That's why the room has just been repainted. That's why he built that brick wall in front of the house.
I don't get it.
One wall of this room is a dummy, built out in front of the real one. That's why the room looks lopsided. That's why he built a brick fence, to get bricks without arousing suspicion.
Which wall?
That. And Bert, it must be hollow.
Give me that axe.
You don't think that Janet...
Bert,
give it to me. Let me.
Get back, you hear me?
Bert. Mrs. Alden. It's Janet. Answer me. Answer me, Mrs. Alden. Yeah?
Ed, didn't you say your wife was young?
23.
Well, then you can look. This is an older woman.
Oh.
Do you know her?
No.
Well, there's your motive.
Yeah.
But who could it be?
I don't know.
She must know. The mother.
She can't even talk.
Ed, you'd know if she was the mother.
Of course, I'd... No. I wouldn't. I never saw Janet's mother until I came here to the house Monday night.
Mrs. Alden. Mrs. Alden, answer me.
I'm not Mrs. Alden. That's Mrs. Alden.
Just a question of time now, whether we'd get back there in time to stop it. It all fit together now, and what Brett didn't know, he got out of the woman on the way back.
Did you know Joe Alden before?
No. Not before I came to their house in Eastport to take care of her. I'm a nurse. And Joe and I... Well, we...
Who got the idea to kill her, you or Joe?
He did. When he saw me giving her a sedative once. She was pretty sick.
Oh, premeditated, huh? Why did he do it?
Money, of course.
She kept a lot of bonds around the house. That's what Joe wanted.
Is that why you moved from Eastport to West Hampton?
Yes. Nobody knew us in West Hampton. We moved in at night. They thought there was only two of us. They thought I was the real Mrs. Alden.
When did he do it?
About a week after we got there. One night. By morning, she was where you found her.
We were doing better than 80 most of the way, but I still didn't think we'd make it. Naturally, Brett was afraid to put the local cops around the house, so Theo Alden would spot them first and take Janet away and do it somewhere else, if he hadn't done it already. Because Bert Stillman had the picture cold now. Janet had come to the West Hampton house and found her mother was missing before Alden had been able to make his getaway. So Alden had been made to kill Janet, too. Bert knew where he was taking her because of the clothes and the furnace in my house. That was a tip-off that Alden was going to try to plant it on me. It was the only break I had. At least I knew where to look if I could get there in time. The outskirts of town, we picked up a police escort, but Bert made them lay off when they got near the house. He drove up the side street and parked a little ways off. We walked up to the house. There was a car in front of it.
Is that Alden's car?
Yes.
All right. You're coming in with this lady, but the first sound out of you and I'll shoot. And I mean that.
I know.
Got your keys, Ed?
Yeah.
Quiet now.
Yeah.
Look. There's a light. That's the door to the cellar. Come on. Listen. He's digging. The light's gone out. He must have heard us. Put on your flashlight. Let's go.
There he is.
Ed, why, you? Hey, what'd you do that for?
Killed my wife, didn't he?
Switch on the light. Maybe it isn't too late yet.
There she is. She's dead.
Yes, chloroform. You smell it? Get that cloth off her face.
Too late, can't you see?
Yeah, I'm afraid. What are you doing carrying a gun, Ed?
I got a permit. Anyway, what's the use of asking questions like this now when...
Look, she's moving.
What?
Yes,
what?
she's alive. Here, give me a hand. Ed, help me.
Ed.
Where are you going, Ed? Put up your hands, Ed.
Okay, they're up.
Come on back down here.
All right. Take it easy. I'm coming.
Ed, you could at least have done it yourself. Instead of hiring murderers.
What did you do it for? The money?
What do you think? For fun?
Go ahead. Talk.
Anything to make you happy. Would have been perfect if Alden had killed her when he first got her in the cellar like I told him to. Maybe he had a sneaking idea I was going to double-cross him. He was stalling until the last minute. I don't know. Anyway, won't do him much good where he is.
What did you have on him, Ed?
The mother, his wife. I'd been up there before alone. I knew he'd killed his wife because I'd seen a picture Janet had of a real mother. And I spotted the room right away. I told Alden I'd split the money with him if he did it. And if he didn't...
Go on.
Well, I knew I could pick a fight with Janet. I knew she'd run up to her mother's. Then I went up there to make it look good. After I left, Alden was to call the cops like he did. You'd take me down here to headquarters, and while you were giving me the old third degree, Alden was supposed to plant the body in the cellar. That way, I was in the clear because you'd know I couldn't have done it while I was down here talking to you. And you'd know she hadn't been there before because you'd looked. That's why I planted the clothes in the furnace, remember? So you would look.
It's smart.
I had an alibi, and nobody had a thing on Alden unless I squawked. And he had to take that chance. Looked pretty good there for a while, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, your wife's outside. Do you want to say anything to her?
Yeah. Just tell her I said, you'll never see me again.
And so closes You'll Never See Me Again, starring Joseph Cotton. Tonight's study in Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by William Spear.
To every woman listening tonight, I want to say a special word about making every dinner or supper you serve taste better. I want to urge you to start serving Roma wine with your meals. It's simple. The cost is very, very little. And it works magic in making food more enjoyable. You can serve Roma wine with any meal or any time in any kind of glass you wish. Serve it chilled. Try different kinds of Roma wine until you find those you enjoy most of all. Try hearty, red Roma California Burgundy or the delicately delicious Roma California Sauterne. The cost is only pennies a glass, but you'll find even a pickup supper tastes like a banquet. Get Roma wines today. If your dealer is temporarily out of them, please try again soon. Just ask for ROMA, Roma Wines, America's largest selling wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
Joseph Cotton appeared through the courtesy of David O. Selznick and is currently being seen in the Selznick production Since You Went Away. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Miss Merle Oberon as star of Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, ROMA, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Cheese Company will also bring you the Kraft Music Hall every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. Nowadays, society gives you a green light when you tip your plate of soup, or mop up gravy with a dab of bread, or leave your plate clean as a whistle. We wartime Americans have gladly discarded many wasteful rules of etiquette to make food fight for freedom. The all-important rule these days is waste no food, eat every scrap. Of course, one way to be sure that all the food you serve gets eaten is presented in tempting, appetizing ways. And I do know this. You'll enjoy bread, rolls, and muffins down to the very last crumb when they're spread with delicious parquet margarine. Ah, yes, ma'am, parquet's delicate flavor really satisfies. Adds to your enjoyment of many fine foods. And since parquet margarine is so very high in energy value, it's really a wonderful aid to good family nutrition. Remember, too, that each pound of parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So get the nutritious spread that's known far and wide for its truly fine flavor. Buy Parquet, that's P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now let's see what goes on at the home of the great Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. It's Saturday evening, the day before Halloween, and his niece is giving a dance. All afternoon he's been rolling up carpets, putting extra leaves on the dining room table, carrying out furniture, and carrying it in again. But now that the heavy work is done, he finds himself brushed aside. After an early makeshift supper, he wanders forlornly out to the kitchen to watch last-minute preparations there.
Oh, what are you making there, Bertie? Frosting?
Yes, sir.
Say, that looks mighty good. Do you mind if I just...
Uncle Mort.
Mr. Gildersleeve, a man can lose a finger that way.
It's wonderful, though, Bertie. Say, don't you think you've beaten that about enough?
Ain't sure if it's stiff enough.
Oh, well, I'll just see.
Uncle Mort, really?
Just tasting it, my dear.
Mr. Gildersleeve, if you keep tasting, there ain't going to be frosting enough to put in your eye.
Who wants it in his eye? You'd like to put a little on a piece of bread now.
Uncle Mort, go out and play.
Let's go out and play.
Bertie, don't you think it's about time we took another peek at that cake?
Cake? I'll do it.
Stay away from that oven. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve, but you want that cake to fall?
I was just trying to help.
Run along, Uncle Mort. I'll look at the cake, Bertie.
You either.
What?
If some of the people don't get out of this kitchen, I'm going to go clean out of my mind.
Bertie, I was just...
Well, you more trouble than all the rest of them. Want me to pick the party? You got to give me a chance. I ain't no Superman. No, sir. All I got is 2 hands. Paying to come in here talking dirty.
Come on, Marjorie. I think Bertie wants to be alone. Let's go in the other room. After you.
Oh, Leroy, for heaven's sake.
I am Frankenstein the Wolfman. I eat up little girls.
Let go.
I walked with a zombie. The undying monster.
Leroy.
The living dead.
Stop that and take off that mask.
Don't be me, Unc. Did I scare you?
Yes. I don't know how you expect to scare anybody. You've been going around that rig scaring people for a week.
Well, I'm just practicing being horrible.
You don't need any practice.
Now, come on. You make him promise to keep away from my party. I just know he's going to... Oh, that's probably for me.
Don't worry, Glamour Puss. I wouldn't be caught dead at your party.
Hello? Is that you? No, it's me. Oh, I couldn't tonight, Master. No, I'm sorry. No, I couldn't possibly.
Why don't you tell him you're giving a party and he's not invited?
Shut up, Leroy.
Let her alone, Leroy.
Pardon the interruption. The brat again. Go on, tell me all about it.
I don't know what kind of a Halloween party this is anyway. No games, no pumpkins.
What did you used to do on Halloween, Unc?
Oh, we did a lot of things, my boy. Made jack-o'-lanterns, bobbed for apples.
Pretty corny.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, we had one little trick.
Yeah? What was it?
Well, we used to take 2 buckets of water.
Yeah?
And when it got dark, we put them on each side of somebody's front walk. And we tie them together with a piece of cord across the walk. And then when somebody came along, well, you can imagine.
Hey, that's great.
It was a very thoughtless, wicked thing to do, Leroy. I hope you will never do anything like that.
Are you kidding?
I mean it. Somebody might trip and hurt themselves badly. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
There's one other thing to remember.
What's that?
Only fill the buckets halfway. It won't work if they're full.
Oh, my goodness. Go to the door, somebody. I'm on the phone.
Well, get off it.
I'll go. Oh, I've got to hang up now. Goodbye, Lester.
Yeah, so much for Lester.
It's Wally Hoff.
Wally Hoff.
Well, the kid himself. Hiya, Junior. What are you supposed to be?
Frankenstein.
Oh, blow me down.
Talk to Wally, will you, Uncle Mort? I'll be right down, Wally. I've got to run up and put on some lipstick.
What for? It's coming right off. Take these records with you, son, and don't drop them. Got a couple of real oldies there. Red nickels.
Gosh.
Mr. Hoff, my name is Gildersleeve. I'm Marjorie's uncle.
Oh, hi. Heard a lot about you.
I've heard a lot about you, too.
Favorable, I trust. Anybody tune this so-called piano lately?
Young man, that's a Wembley.
Oh, not bad.
Hey, Wally, I can play a boogie bass now like you showed me. Look.
Hey, that's not it. Look out.
I didn't do it right. Let me just...
Look out. Let me at it. Like music, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I like music, yes. Mr. Hoff, would you mind telling me something?
Not at all. Shoot.
That sweatshirt you're wearing, is that customary these days? At dances, I mean?
What else?
In my day, we wore tuxedos. And we didn't wrestle. We danced.
Oh, your day. Your day is over, Uncle Mort.
Yes, I guess it is.
Well, don't stop, Wally. Give out.
What'll it be, gorgeous?
Oh, anything at all, only give. The party's dying and it hasn't even started. Uncle Mort, I don't want to be rushing you, but the gang will be here any minute.
I can take a hint.
Well, take Leroy with you. Why don't you see if Mrs. Ransom's doing anything tonight?
Maybe I will, and maybe I won't.
Oh, that's it. Play that.
On with the dance. Let joy be unrefined.
Oh, brother, even in my... Come on, Frankenstein. This is no place for us.
Gosh, it's dark out, isn't it?
Wally Hoff.
He's a swell piano player, Unc.
You stick to Bach.
That sounds like Piggy. Hey, Pig, wait up! That's his signal. See you later, Unc.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
I won't ask you to keep out of mischief, Leroy. Just keep out of jail.
Okay. Where are you going, Mrs. Ransom?
Never mind. Run along.
Hey, Pig, wait for Frankenstein.
Nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to do. If I want to call on Leela, I will. And if I don't, I won't. Just hope she's in, that's all.
Who's that?
Boo!
Yeah. Throckmorton, you mustn't do that.
Yeah, but it's Halloween, Leela.
No, it's not. Tomorrow's Halloween.
I know, but they're celebrating it tonight. What are you doing, Leela?
Well, I had the steak for tonight, but at the last minute I was unable to go on account of a headache.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes.
Well, perhaps some other time.
Oh, I feel much better now.
Oh, you do?
Isn't that lucky?
Will you go to the movies with me?
Well, I don't know about tonight, Throckmorton. I'm just scared to death of ghosts and witches and all.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be with you.
Promise you'll stay close to me and protect me?
I'd like to see the ghost that could get between us.
There'll be a slight wait inside for all seats.
He says they'll be waiting, Throckmorton.
How many, please?
How long will we have to wait, miss?
The next complete showing will begin at 9:53. How many, please?
9:53. That's half an hour, Leela. Do you want to wait?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, make up your mind. Stepping to one side, please. Keeping the line moving, please.
Shutting the mouth, please.
Throckmorton.
Well, they can't push me around. Evidently, our patronage is not wanted here, Leela. Let's go somewhere else.
I declare, Throckmorton, I've never seen Summerfield so crowded.
Why don't these people stay home nights? Well, I suppose we could at least drop in here and get a soda. Would you like a soda?
I don't know. Would you?
Well, I don't know. Would you?
Oh, look, a little boy in a mask.
Well, that's more like it. That's the first real sign of Halloween.
Oh, well, what's that thing he's swinging around?
Oh, that's a sock filled with flour. Oh, we used to have more fun with those.
Oh, he isn't going to hit somebody with it.
What do you think it's for?
Hello, little boy.
Hello there, Sonny. What's your name? Cat got your tongue, huh? You're not Piggy Banks, are you?
You're not going to hit anybody with that, are you, little boy?
Yes, careful now. Careful how you swing that. I'll tell you what, if you go away, I'll give you a nickel. Listen, if you hit anybody... Look out now. If you're Piggy Banks, I'll tell your mother. Did you hear what I said? If you come near me with that, I'll... Come back here, you. I dare you.
Let me brush you off, Throckmorton.
Well, I think you might show a little more consideration, Leela.
Oh, but you look so funny, darling. Come on, let's go in and get a soda.
Well,
hello, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Peavy.
And Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, has it been snowing out?
No, it hasn't been snowing. The lady here would like a soda.
Well, aren't you going to have anything, Throckmorton?
I got something.
Oh, well, if you're not going to have anything, I'm not going to have anything.
All right. Soda for me, too. Chocolate.
Chocolate it shall be.
How have you been, Mr. Peavy?
Oh, just fine, Mr. Ransom, just fine. You two been out doing the town?
Well, if you could call it that. Halloween isn't what it used to be, Peavy.
No, Mr. Gildersleeve, it isn't. And maybe it's just as well.
Why?
Well, I remember one Halloween. Harry, it's a lucky thing we didn't all land in jail.
Well, what did you do, Mr. Peavy?
Well, you know how boys are, Mrs. Ransom. I remember it was a dark night like this one. It was out at old Mr. Thatcher's house, crabby old fellow. Maybe you remember the house, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
Well, we'd planned this thing for weeks, and it was dark, as I say, so we appointed one boy as a lookout, and we hid in the bushes till the coast was clear.
Oh, yeah? Go on.
And when we got the signal, we sneaked across the lawn.
Yeah?
We tiptoed up the front steps.
Uh-huh.
And crawled on our hands and knees across the porch.
Yeah?
And stuck a pin in his doorbell.
Peavy, you didn't.
Yes, sir. And I want to tell you, I got out of there just fast as my legs would carry me.
Peavy, I wouldn't have believed it if you hadn't told me yourself.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Gildersleeve. I didn't actually stick the pin in the bell myself.
Oh?
I stayed behind in the bushes. But if they ever found out that pin came out a mile of hell...
It came out a mile.
Throckmorton, you know what I think?
Know what?
I think we ought to have a Halloween party, an old-fashioned one where you bob for apples and stick pins and things.
But it's too late, Leela.
Oh, no, it's not. Tomorrow's Halloween, really. We could have it at your house.
But, Leela...
Oh, don't be an old killjoy. Now, who we have? Oh, you come, won't you, Mr. Peavy?
Well, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to, Mrs. Ransom. You see, Mrs. Peavy gets a little nervous around Halloween, so I usually stick pretty close to home till it blows over.
Oh, too bad. Well, there's Judge Hooker. We'll have to have the judge.
Yeah, for laughs.
Now, who else?
Well, we ought to have another girl.
Oh, do you think we need to?
For the judge. You know, the old goat likes to think he's Sir Walter Raleigh.
Oh, well, who can we get? I don't seem to know many women somehow.
Oh? Well, there's a Miss Goodwin, I think her name is.
Goodwin? I don't seem to recall.
I only know her slightly.
Oh, well, how does it happen I've never heard you mention her before?
Well, I say, I know her. I've met her, that's all. She's the principal of the school.
Oh, a school teacher.
Yeah, school teacher.
Well, that sounds perfect for the judge.
Oh, you know her, don't you, Peavy?
Oh, yes. She's perfect for the judge.
Yes, perfect for the judge.
She can't be that perfect.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that she was...
Thanks for the sodas, Peavy. Got to be running along.
Oh, but Throckmorton, I've hardly finished.
Got to get going before the crowd gets out of the movie.
Oh, gracious, how you rush it, girl.
Oh, forgot to pay. Peavy, did anybody ever tell you you talk too much?
Why, no.
Well, consider yourself told. Good night, Peavy.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. These days, everyone's interested in good, satisfying food, and everyone knows that flavor is mighty important. Yes, it's flavor that makes us enjoy the foods we eat. It's flavor that tempts hungry appetites. That's why Kraft, the maker of Parquet margarine, is so particular about fine flavor in this delicious spread for bread. Parquet's flavor is something you'll want to tell your friends about. It's so delicate and appetizing, the margarine that tastes so good. And right along with its tempting flavor, Parquet margarine is wonderfully nutritious, too. It's one of the best energy foods you can serve your family.
And while we're on the subject of good nutrition, remember that every single pound of Parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. Parquet is a quality margarine that bears the seal of acceptance of the Council on Foods and Nutrition of the American Medical Association. So for flavor to satisfy your family and for the kind of nourishment they need, serve Parquet every day. Ask your dealer for Parquet. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Halloween is here at last, and the Great Gildersleeve is ready for it come what may. Leroy has carved a pumpkin, and Bertie has prepared some refreshments.
Don't they teach you any poetry in school these days, Leroy?
Oh, sure. I woke up in the morning and looked upon the wall. There was a flea and a bedbug having a game of ball.
Leroy, you did learn that poem in school.
Oh, I did, too. Piggy taught it to me during geography.
Yes. By George, I'm going to ask your teacher to change your seat. I can see Piggy's a bad influence on you.
I doubt if Leroy's doing Piggy any good either. Oh, is that so? Who asked you to put in your 2 cents?
Well, you're certainly just as bad as Piggy.
I suppose his sister's been shooting off her big mouth.
Leroy?
She has not.
Well, I could tell a few things about you and her and Wally Hoff. For instance...
Quiet! I'm expecting guests here any minute. Do you think I want them to walk into this kind of a cat and dog fight?
Well, he's ordered it.
Stop it. They're all finish it. I'll not have this kind of goings-on. Leroy, where are you going?
Out on the porch.
What for?
Oh, to light the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, well, that's all right then. It's a very good idea. To make a cheery welcome for my guests. What are your plans, Marjorie? Would you like to stay here and enjoy a little old-fashioned Halloween fun for a change?
Oh, gee, do I have to?
Certainly not, my dear. What were you thinking of doing this evening?
Wally and I were going down to Brownie's Beanery for a while. Some of the gang's going to be there.
I certainly dislike that boy.
Oh, he grows on you, Uncle Mort.
Why, George, you won't get a chance to grow on me. Hi-ho. Well, I'll have a real Halloween anyway. I'll see how Leroy's coming with the jack-o'-lantern. Real Halloween air. Gosh, dark as a pants pocket out here. Where's that kid? Leroy!
Hi, Unc.
I didn't see you, Leroy. Confound it. How many times have I told you it's not funny to scare people?
I wasn't trying to scare you. You called me and I answered.
Well, all right, but be careful. Why haven't you lit the jack-o'-lantern?
The wind keeps blowing out the matches.
Nonsense. There's no wind at all tonight.
It comes in puffs.
Well, give me those matches and I'll show you how a woodsman lights a fire.
Where's the woodsman?
Just watch me.
Okay. Say, isn't this Judge Hooker coming?
Where? I don't see anybody. Oh, well, it may be at that. Hello, Judge.
Hi, Gildy.
Yeah, trust him to get here first.
Hi, Judge.
Hello, Leroy. Well, Throckmorton, happy Halloween.
Am I the first one? Oh,
Leroy here.
Confounded Gildersleeve, what's the idea?
It wasn't my idea, Judge, but anyway, happy Halloween. Just stand here by the fire, Judge, and you'll be dry in no time.
Doggone that kid.
Now, Judge, boys will be boys.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you put him up to it.
Why, Horace.
And you laughed.
Well, I couldn't help it. I'm always laughing. Now, cheer up, Judge.
Well, maybe that's my girl.
Your girl?
Miss Goodwin.
What makes you think she's your girl?
All right, I'm easy to please. I'll take Leela.
Oh, no, you won't. Leela's my girl, you old goat.
Rather be a goat than a hog.
Well, hello, Leela.
Hello, Throckmorton.
Come in. We were just talking about you.
I knew it. I could feel my ears burning.
Yeah, they're still pink at that. Let me take your coat.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my, the house looks lovely. I think Halloween decorations are so exciting, don't you?
I certainly do.
Oh, good evening, Horace.
Good evening, Leela.
What a wonderful idea, coming in your old clothes. I just love old clothes parties.
This is my new suit, Leela. Or it was when I left home.
Well, what happened?
Gildersleeve's little nephew played a Halloween prank that soaked me to the skin.
Oh, how awful. That doesn't sound like Leroy Throckmorton.
It's my idea of Leroy.
Oh, mercy, the judge might have caught pneumonia.
Oh, don't worry about me, Leela. I'm a pretty tough old rooster.
Oh, well, let's forget all about it and have a nice Halloween. Where's your lady friend, Horace?
Miss Goodwin? Oh, she's not my lady friend. Not according
Now, Horace, can't you take a joke?
Seems to me I'm being asked to take a good many this evening.
That must be Miss Goodwin now, Judge. Why don't you go and let her in?
Well, thank you.
What did Horace mean about her not being his lady friend, Throckmorton?
Oh, nothing. Just his peculiar sense of humor.
Good evening, Miss Goodwin.
Good evening, Judge Hooker. So nice to see you again.
Permit me to take your wrap.
Throckmorton?
Yes, Leela?
I thought you said she was a school teacher.
She is, Leela.
Well, she dresses like the school teachers in Esquire.
No, Leela.
Here we are. Mrs. Ransom, may I present Miss Goodwin?
How do you do?
It's so nice to meet you. Good evening, Throckmorton.
Well.
Hello, Eve.
Well. Why didn't you tell me, Miss Goodwin, and you were such old friends, Throckmorton?
Well,
Since he's been on the school board, we've seen a good deal of each other, Mrs. Ransom.
I see.
Well. Nothing so much fun as a Halloween party, is there? Or is there? You don't have the right technique for apple bobbing, Judge.
No.
You have to follow the apple right down to the bottom and get your teeth in it.
Oh, I could never do that. I'd ruin my hair.
I wouldn't mind. Let me try it.
Well.
Yes, I'll show you, Eve. Stand back, everybody.
Wait a minute, Gildy, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now witness a death-defying exhibition by Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, diving into 1 foot of water from the stupendous height of 6 inches.
Oh, Horace, you're simply a scream. I declare I think you're funnier than Bob Hope.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
Yeah, neither would I. Look, I'll show you now how to get the apple.
How you doing, Gildy?
Mercy, Throckmorton, come up for air. You'll drown.
Don't worry about him, Mrs. Ransom. He has wonderful breath control.
Well.
Hooray! Gildersleeve, you look exactly like a roast pig.
I know what we ought to do now. Let's tell ghost stories.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Eve. I know a real thriller.
Oh, ghost stories never scare me.
Well, it'll scare you if we turn out the lights. Turn off the lights, will you, Judge?
All right.
There.
I'm still not a bit scared.
You will be. Once there was an old haunted house way out on the edge of a swamp. There was a ghost in the house who was trying to find his murdered wife. And he used to go through the house every night at midnight saying, ooh.
Ooh, I'm frightened already.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous myself.
Oh, pooh.
Well, one night some hunters were passing near the house when it got real dark. And not knowing the reputation of the place, they decided to spend the night there. So they went up to the door, and just then...
Oh, Throckmorton, this is silly.
I think it's fun.
I know a game that's lots more fun in the dark than telling ghost stories.
Oh? Well, what is it, Leela?
Sardines.
I never heard of it.
Never heard of sardines?
No.
Oh, well, the way you play it, one person hides in the dark, and then all the others try to find him. Or her. And when you find the person, you don't say anything. You just stand as close to him as you possibly can till all the others find you. That's sardine.
Oh, well, I can see it's got possibilities.
Yeah, let's try it. Miss Goodwin, why don't you be the first to hide?
Why, Horace, I suggested the game.
Oh, you can hide next.
Yeah, very fair, Judge. Go ahead and hide, Eve, while I count 50.
Well, I don't know any places, but... Oh, all right.
All right. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. All right, Eve, here we come. Who left that chair there?
Oh, doggone it!
The judge is having a little trouble, too, I can see. What's this?
Now, Throckmorton.
Who is it?
You ought to know.
What am I supposed to do now?
Stand close to me.
Can't stand any closer, can I?
What's going on here, anyhow?
Hey, no fair turning on the lights.
Throckmorton Gildersleeve.
Now, Leela.
Well, if I'd known there were this kind of people in the game, I never would have suggested it.
Mrs. Ransom.
Don't you try to shush me.
I wonder if you'd mind taking me home, Judge.
But, Eve, the party's just begun.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's all over.
Now, wait a minute. Leela, please. Eve, please, Leela. Oh, who invented Halloween anyway? You don't understand.
I understand very well, Throckmorton. Take me home, please.
But they've all gone, Leela. I want to explain.
There's nothing to explain. I turn the lights on and I find you pawing that school teacher.
Leela, if you could just listen.
Let go of my arm, please, Throckmorton. Will you open the door for me?
Oh, God.
Thank you. Now, do you want me to walk home by myself?
I'll take you if you're really determined. Leela.
School teacher. She must be a fine school teacher.
Well, she is.
Oh, that's right. Stick up for her.
I'm not sticking up for her. She didn't do anything. I thought she was you.
Throckmorton, that's a ridiculous barefaced fib. She's wearing Chanel No. 5, and I always use Shalimar.
Well, Leela, I don't know one perfume from another. To me, they both smell good.
I don't care to hear any more, Throckmorton. Oh, look out!
Oh, my goodness.
Good night, Throckmorton.
You can't leave me here in this. Wait till I get my hands on Leroy.
Don't blame Leroy, Gildy. Happy Halloween.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
This year, thousands of women all over the country are discovering what a special help with wartime meals is the product called Kraft Dinner. A box of Kraft Dinner gives them enough delicious macaroni and cheese for 4 people at only a few cents a serving. They get 2 boxes of Kraft Dinner for only 1 single ration point. And with Kraft Dinner, they cook that delicious main dish in just 7 minutes. In every Kraft Dinner box, there's a special macaroni that cooks fluffy tender in boiling water and an envelope of Kraft Grated. With this handy Kraft Grated, you whisk cheese goodness through and through the fluffy macaroni in a jiffy. A very smart trick is to shape the hot Kraft Dinner in a ring mold for a minute or 2, unmold on a platter, and serve with creamed vegetables or fish or a little meat. But just as is, Kraft Dinner gives you a mighty fine main dish. Try this 7-minute macaroni and cheese soon. At your food store, be on the alert for point-saving Kraft Dinner. This is the National Broadcasting Company.